Welcome to Something to Talk About.
Hi, welcome to Something to Talk About. My name is Taco, and I'm here to talk about A Song of Ice and Fire. It's one of them live streams. So how you guys doing? It's Thursday night. It's time to party. I'm your excellent host, Taco Campbell. And with me, as always, is Garth Greenhand. That actually almost worked. All right, there. So if you guys don't know what's going on, I'm about to bring on 3 amazing guests. And I have a list here of every single King of the Reach. And I am excited to do this. So, yeah. Some of them are a lot bigger than others, and we're just, of course, we're kind of just gonna bull crap throughout it too. We're not very strict on schedule around here. I want to say before we get going, if you want to ask a question, go ahead and do it in the chat. I have chat up mostly, but if you want to make sure that we do see it no matter what, there's a PayPal link in the description, and send it through there. Hopefully I'll notice it before we're done. I'm not looking at my phone, but yeah. Anyways, let's get guests in here. Let's talk. Right now we got my buddy Tormund. How you doing, Tormund?
Hello, I'm doing pretty good.
That's good. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. You excited to go to the Reach?
Yep.
Where do you rank Reach Kings when it comes to like your Reach lore opposed to other kingdom lores? Is it in like the top 2 or 3, or is it in the bottom?
I mean, the thing is, it is one of the most detailed lores, so it's like it's kind of hard to not put them in the top 3 just because we have a lot of material.
I'm with you, and especially since Dorne doesn't start getting lower until like way late, like because they're after the Andal invasion, is when Nymeria comes in and makes it all exciting. Like Nymeria's setting and stuff, but like North is up there, and then I would say Iron Islands is up there, and I would say Reach. And Reach and Iron Islands are very interconnected. Well, Reach is kind of interconnected a lot, but yeah, I'm excited to do this with other kingdoms. But all right, let's bring in. I'm gonna give him a second to walk back over to his camera. We got my buddy Rust. And how you doing?
What's up, everybody?
I didn't have a good
not bad
introduction for you ready. I'm kind of chill. I'm low energy today, which is weird for me.
Yeah, me too.
All right, good. I like your glasses. Your glasses and your lack of long hair makes me think of Hunter S. Thompson, which I don't think is an insult. Depends on what you mean. Like, oh, you mean like a fun, extremely creative guy, or a drug hound who's extremely violent? Like, no,
I'll take either one.
Yeah,
I'll take both.
You ever just watched that, like the list of somebody who hung out with him and wrote down every drug he did throughout one 24-hour period?
I did a video on that. Yeah.
So you did? Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
We don't need to do Hunter S. Thompson.
I did. Well, no, it's just I did Hunter S. Thompson. That was my costume for Halloween. Like the last time I dressed up for Halloween, which was about 12 years ago, probably.
Nice.
It was a toss up between Arthur Dent and that, but I was in South Florida at the time, and it was too hot for Arthur Dent. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got coming in next is this random dude from the internet. We got random internet guy. How you doing?
I know. What am I even doing here? Just some random internet guy to talk about A Song of Ice and Fire? What's even up with that?
Man, I got something for this.
Also, I'm glad I'm not the only one who associated Rust with Hunter S. Thompson.
Yeah. No, he kind of looks like.
He's got the right look for it. That was certainly a great costume.
I'm up there with the drug intake too.
I was as a young person, but as an old person, there's just no way I could handle that volume. I can't keep up with that now. I can't even drink a beer no more.
Oh, I can't. I couldn't do a hit of any of the thing that people smoke and call it weed nowadays. I'm used to that 80s freaking dirt weed that my parents had.
Yeah. See, I was raised in California, so we were raised on the stickiest of the ickiest, and like I literally grew up with a guy whose fucking grandfather had been in prison for bringing the first Thai stick into the United States. It was a serious court case. You could look it up. Forget his fucking name, but it has a whole Wikipedia and shit.
The stuff that's tied to a stick.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a Cheech and Chong joke.
Yeah,
I got a
I've
tied stick. You got a tied stick? Yeah, that stuff that's tied to a stick.
Yeah.
I've got familial connections to the industry that I still can't talk about.
All right, well, Kings of the Reach. First, because we got random here, I have to play this.
Random.
Very random.
Very random. Very random.
I thought you were going to hit us with the other one. I was expecting.
I know. I rope-a-doped you. It's right next to it.
Switching it up.
You subverted my expectations, George R. R. Martin style. There we go.
Yeah. and then I'm gonna murder you. Dun, dun, dun. Then I'm gonna kill off your favorite POV, which I believe is you, which is yourself, I would guess.
Bold of you to assume I'm my favorite POV.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
No, you're right. When it comes to who I'd get out of the house first in a fight.
What happens if you try to write a POV chapter about a character who's got no internal dialogue? Like, what would that even be?
Is that why
like
Stannis
a series
doesn't have any POV?
Yeah, like if you're
like a series of images.
A coma.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't this already Area Hoto?
Yeah, pretty much.
I actually like the Aereo chapters.
Nice.
I'm a big Aereo fan.
Oh,
I love
I
Aereo.
also do as well.
I absolutely love Aereo.
We don't
Who
talk
doesn't
about
like
the
Ariel?
chapters or the quizzes too much on here, but I'm glad you're enjoying them. My trivia.
Yeah,
I do every morning.
I failed the last trivia I did of yours, and I usually get them right. So I was disappointed in myself.
Well,
but I was also like, that was actually a pretty good one because it was like ones that I really just had no fucking idea. I forget who it was. You were asking the rightful lord of such and such or some shit like that.
I love those ones. And I also like just finding random characters and then being like, so what's their eldest son? Or just, or who's Arwood Frey's wife? That's what I did the other day.
You tricked me with a Tully one or something like that? Or no, I think a Bracken one or something that a while back. You were like, who is this bastard? Or something. I was like, oh, it's that bastard. It was not that bastard.
Oh, it was Rob Rivers. Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And you picked Bracken when it's Tormund.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I was thinking of a different
Blackwood.
bastard. I was like, oh,
It's Blackwood.
Yeah, it's Blackwood. So let's get into this. So I'm going to throw up a slide for House Gardener to remind everybody who House Gardener is. And then because we covered Grey King for the Iron Island Kings, we're going to cover Garth Greenhand, although he is not recognized as a king of the Reach. He's like a king of the First Man. I didn't know how many layers you're taking off for us. You're just leaving a shirt. All right, that's fine. Maybe later we can talk you into it. So we're covering Garth Greenhand first, and then we're working our way down, I think, 31 kings. And even though it says, like, in the lore, like if you read A World of Ice and Fire, it says they have one queen, they're not talked about. So I don't know who that is. So I was really disappointed as I was going through.
Maybe they were
king.
erased from history like that Egyptian queen.
Maybe. Or like Rhaenyra Targaryen, who absolutely is a queen of Westeros, but she's not recognized. Like she's out on the Iron Throne, whatever. Spoilers.
Rhaenyra Targaryen, whatever happened there.
Yeah. Whatever happened there. Whatever happened there, the stabbing. The shooting, the dragon thing.
49 years old man.
With all
He was
these
just a fucking
Targaryens.
All right. Should I? All right. Let's play this.
Fuck.
So we're gonna start with the house, and then we're gonna do all 31 kings.
Everybody got that?
And everybody got that. All right. I
There's
got
one
so many
king.
clips.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. All right. House Gardener. House Gardener of Highgarden is an extinct house of old and famed kings of the Reach. That's what we're talking about here. Beginning with the mythical first king, Garth the Gardener, the son of the mythical Garth Greenhand. But we are going to talk about Garth Greenhand just a little bit. The Gardeners ruled through war and peace and assimilation with the Andals, which we're absolutely going to talk about, until the last Gardener king. Mern IX Gardener and his kin were killed at the Field of Fire in Aegon's conquest. The kings of House Gardener initially ruled the Reach proper, focused on Highgarden and the Mander River, but over time they used their claim of descending from Garth the Gardener to claim supremacy over neighboring kings and lords. Their seat was Highgarden, where many Gardener kings and even one queen, even though I don't have any information on that queen, sat upon the living oaken seat. The Gardener kings wore crowns of vines and flowers when at peace, and crowns of bronze, thorns, and later iron when they went to war. I really wanted Michael here, but I believe the Packers are doing I believe it's Thursday Night Football. I believe Packers are in it, but either way, he's watching Thursday Night Football tonight. But
yes, like all footballists, he's gathered in a circle, sacrificing chickens around a ball or whatever the hell.
Yeah,
they do.
and I'm missing it.
Yes,
and I'm missing it for this.
There was fudge to be packed.
Yeah,
they're all packed in there together with the 49ers or whatever the hell they do.
Sorry, I know you're like it's like fun to make fun of sports guys, but like I'm also a sports guy.
No, I know. I'm just teasing because my own lack of knowledge of sports. I'm like, yes, the mystic rituals of whatever football does.
It was weird until I got into it, and same with wrestling. Now I'm into wrestling. I feel like I can't be tribalistic at all anymore.
No, I
got into wrestling and then like realized how shitty everybody involved was and kind of fell back out.
Yeah.
When they brought Brock Lesnar back in the middle of his
hard.
human trafficking investigation, I was like, that's the last.
See, I thought you guys meant like wrestling, like actual like wrestling.
No, pro wrestling. Sports entertainment.
The one sport I did get into was sumo, and then the one sport I actually did was Bout, which no one's ever heard of, but it's medieval armored knight fighting, and you do.
Oh, I knew you were doing that.
Yeah, well, Taco. No, you mentioned to it, and everyone's like, "What the fuck is that?" And I'm like, it's so like MMA, but you're a knight.
No.
So, yeah,
is that different from HEMA?
I can't talk because I'm into weird fucking sports no one's ever heard of.
Random. Somebody's trying to talk to you.
Oh,
ask her again, Ross.
Is that different from HEMA?
You can do HEMA as a form of it. It's called harness Steckton. So in HEMA harness Steckton, you wear the full harness. But if you stab somebody in a gap point with a sufficient strike, they're considered to be downed. In Bout, you cannot stab. There is no stabbing. Oh. So you can take someone to the ground in an MMA match and ground and pound them, but you cannot shank them.
I want to call you
shanking is actually a common way to get the kill.
I've never
done. I was going to say, me and I had a buddy who was a blacksmith in high school, and we used to, do that, not with any official rules, of course.
Oh yeah,
he had a friend who was a 300-pound wrestler, and didn't matter, full plate, whatever. He'd just take it to the ground and just kind of sit on you until you were done.
I want to say, I want to make fun of you for being a nerd, but everything you just described is really violent, so I'm not gonna.
Oh, I know, it's bad. It's bad as fuck. I'm still disappointed in my back problems that I cannot fight no more. It's
kind of like
very nice. But
anytime
it's super cool. If you guys in the chat, if you ever get a chance to watch Bout or MMA, Armed MMA, go look that shit up. It's really cool.
All right.
Well, now I feel a bit gay because I did the gay version of that, fencing.
Oh no, fencing's badass as fuck. Like actually HEMA because
my blacksmith.
What I'm looking into now,
buddy.
The kit doesn't weigh as much, so. Fencing is much better sport for people who have back problems, or well, maybe not everyone has back problems, but if you can't wear the armor like me, fencing's better idea.
Yeah. By the way, for everyone who might take offense at my joke, I am bisexual. Do not come after me. I'm making fun of my people.
Because he called it gay.
I said, because I called fencing gay.
Yeah. Is there anyone here who's not bisexual?
I'm closer to straight, but not very close to straight.
I'm going to say I've made out with a couple dudes in my life, so I'm a percentage bisexual, but I've never, sucked the D, so I don't think I'm, full bi.
We never got to a king yet. What are we doing?
Shit, sorry. I thought we'd had enough time. It's 7:15. I was like,
oh my God.
Right? He's so random.
Oh my God. All right, you know what? No, I'm gonna play. You earned this one. I'm sorry if it's mean.
Right away. No, we're cool and all, but just shut up sometime.
All right. I love it. I'm just waiting, and I'm like, let's give him a couple minutes, before we get into the topic. Let's hang out, and then I'm like, all right, okay, give it a all right.
I know we're the fucking interesting nerd club now, for God's sake.
Too long of a leash. I gotta toss the anchor down a little more. Right.
Yeah.
God, I can't give you guys too much freedom. Garth Greenhand. So technically not a king in the reach, but we kind of need to start with this horny guy. Now we're talking. Garth Greenhand was also called Garth Greenhair and Garth the Green, and he was a mythical king of mythical high king of the First Men and said to be a common ancestor of numerous houses in the Reach. According to some legends, Garth Greenhand was the high king who led the First Men across the Arm of Dorne. Other tales claim he predated the arrival of the First Men, making him not only the first human in Westeros, but also the only human. Wait, what? Yeah, human in Westeros, but also the only human. That doesn't make any sense.
They would have made him the only human on the continent for a while.
Oh, yeah, but if you're the first, aren't you the only human on the continent?
I didn't write it.
I'm just all right. Yeah. Well, I should have wrote it better. And that he interacted with the children of the forest and the giants. In some tales, Garth is a god, and in a few of those, the oldest ones, he demands blood sacrifice from worshippers to ensure bountiful harvest. So we're seeing some old gaudy stuff coming already. And in some stories, the green god dies every autumn, only to be reborn. With the coming of the spring. Some tales claim that he had green hands, green hair, or green skin overall, and antlers like a stag, like the Green Men, if you will. Garth supposedly wore a crown of vines and flowers, and it made the land bloom. It is unclear if he is related to the first king that is buried in Barrowtown, because we know there's a huge burial mound for the legendary first king, so he might not be that one. I'm assuming he's not. It is said that Garth first taught men to farm, giving them gifts of seed and showing them how to plant and sow, and how to raise crops and reap a harvest. Some tales indicate that he tried to do the same with the giants and children of the forest, but the giants pelted him with boulders, and the children just laughed. Stating that woods provided them with all they need. Yeah, we don't need farming, you loser. Children of the forest, not children of the farm. Where Garth walked, farms and villages and orchards sprouted. Befitting a god, his bag was filled with seeds of all the world's trees, grains, fruits, and flowers, and its contents was endless. So he had a bag of holding just filled with seeds.
He kind of sounds like Johnny Appleseed mixed with Tom Bombadil.
Yeah. We're going to talk about this dude, and we're not going to go full David Lightbringer afterwards, but we're going to go a little bit. Garth Greenhand also brought fertility to women, making barren ones fruitful with a touch, even old crones. Lords, common men alike offered up their virgin daughters to him wherever he went, so their crops may ripen and trees grow heavy with fruit. Any maiden he deflowered delivered strong sons or fair daughters. So there we go. That is my longest one that we're just going to read all the way through. So thank you for getting through that. The other ones have paragraphs.
That was interesting.
So definitely one of those old school fertility gods, right? Like he is almost every single mythology has some type of a horny fertility god, or
he sounds very Zeusian,
many
in many ways.
Yes, but to be fair, Garth Greenhand always reminded me of the whole mythical concept of the Green Man.
Yeah.
Not the Green Men at the Isle of Faces, but the real life Green Man.
Yeah, David Lightbringer talks about the real life Green Man in the connections. Yeah, go ahead, Tormund.
You guys are referring to Green
I'm not
Man.
trying to pull from David. I hope he doesn't sue me.
No, but you guys are referring to Green Man from Always
It's all right. He's not that.
No,
Billy. He's not Billy Mitchell. He won't sue you.
No, he won't sue. It's not our fault that he covered something before we could, when it's clearly a really good connection, just like many of the connections of real world religions.
Does David Lightbringer sue you now? Is that a thing?
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
no, I'd like to get off this topic. I'm sure he's a great dude, and I've always assumed that he was a very nice guy who would not sue people. But what's the guy you said?
Billy Mitchell will sue you,
Billy Mitchell. Yeah, he'll sue you. Even he'll sue you for not letting him sue you. Like he'll find a reason that Billy Mitchell.
Like he'll probably sue me for saying that he'll sue you.
Yeah, that's true. So, in which proves him right, and you immediately win. So yeah, the Antlered Men definitely. there's a
I won a
lot
lawsuit
of
against him, and he paid me in quarters. Sorry.
Okay, jeez. There's a lot of antlered stag deities of past that bring babies, bring the spring, so on and so forth. I wish he had rabbit ears. It would really help the fertility god. For people who our only connection is Easter, like to a fertility god. But yeah. Anyways, anyone else have anything smart before we move on?
I mean, it's very much like Garth Greenhand is like this very big figure that I don't think just looms large in the Reach's history, but as far as the South is concerned, he is a very important figure mythologically.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which kind of makes sense why the Reach feels so self-important about themselves, because
Well, when every house, half the houses, we'll talk. So I've talked about this before, but for the most part, don't call me out, but you can trace any house from the Reach back to one of two things. And if it's a first man house or once a first man house, you're going to trace it back to a legendary daughter or son of Garth the Green Hand, right? You can even do that with House Lannister, because Lan the Clever was possibly the bastard son of Floris the Fox. So you can trace a lot of these old man houses back to Garth the Green Hand from his like many, many kids who I didn't write down here. We're only talking about one of them later, but yeah, because it's King of the Reach, not every house in Reach. But that's like one subset of Reach houses, right? And then you have the other one, which are Andal houses that came over during the Andal invasion during the three Sage Kings, in which we'll talk about all three of them, and they intermarried or whatever, gave lands for these guys. So like if you look at a house in the Reach, just pick one house, blah, blah, and it's going to either comes from blah, blah, the Green Hand, or comes from the three Sage Kings. And so that's like I don't know. That's a cool thing about the Reach.
I had to step away for a second, but I wanted to zoom in on that blood sacrifice. What the fuck? I had not actually heard about that before.
But, yeah.
Green Hand. I had heard about the fertility stuff, obviously, because that's But where was the source on that? Just because I just didn't remember it.
Just in A World of Ice and Fire.
This is all world stuff.
Yeah, no, I didn't know if anybody had ever dropped that in the books, because I know a lot of stuff scattered kind of throughout the series in general. When they compile on the wiki, they're kind of pulling from all the different places. So
and
this is all wiki, the World of Ice and Fire.
I do.
It kind of makes sense with the whole all the hints that we get that the first men, when they started worshiping the old gods, they were doing blood sacrifices. Like we get these hints, and it makes sense that there's a bit something darker beneath the surface. Kind of again, Greek gods, like say Pan, the god of wilderness, also fertility in some instances, but yeah.
I'm looking almost literally.
He was also
all
born.
of this is
I
World
don't
of
like
Ice and
Pan
Fire.
just because his flute sucks. I hate those freaking pan pipes, man.
That's it. Because pan pipes, so you don't like Pan.
Who
Stick to your Aztec death whistles.
Does it say in the World of Ice and Fire associates him with blood magic, or is that just
no? It's just literally just straight out says, and some say this.
Oh wow! Now I want to know who and some are. I'm like, who the hell are these people?
I mean, I'm gonna be real. It's probably legends passed down, that have been collected by the guys at the Citadel.
Now look at it realistically. If there were old god stuff going on, literally at that time, or a little after, or way before, definitely way before. Now that I'm saying it out loud, way before Garth Greenhand came, 500 years later. Or 2000 now, you look back at that time, and there are people making blood sacrifices, and there are people praising Garth the Green Hand. So you're probably thinking that they're doing it for him, right? Like there's probably a big connection, and maybe
or he's leading the sacrifices like as part of the society. Like remember all the visions where they're like feeding the people with the weirwood trees and stuff like that.
Yeah, but if you want to go that route, that's definitely one of them. But I'm looking at how we to this day. have religions swallow up customs from other religions, just like how so many customs from Christianity and other Abrahamic religions were just borrowed from smaller religions that are now gone, that, you know, like Yuletide coming from, you know, the north, and then like so on and so forth, like becoming Christmas, and other fertility things becoming Easter. You can just say, oh, that like Garth the Green Hen having sacrifices, it's kind of getting lumped together, right? But I don't know. That's just my take on it.
Yeah, the other way, it's interesting. Just the idea of Garth the Green Hand being a king who's sacrificing people, or people sacrificing to him. You know, it's just interesting.
Well, it's probably such a big thing back then. I mean, sacrifice even in our old world was really
with the
one
old
of your
gods,
payments,
it
right?
makes total sense too. Like he said, with the old gods, people are sacrificing, and so, you know, it's if they're worshiping Garth Greenhand, maybe that's part of how you worship stuff. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not entirely certain, and kind of some of that in the rituals of precisely what was being practiced. I don't remember.
I don't think we'll ever get confirmation. But one thing I want to point out as an interesting parallel that just came to me in a moment of inspiration.
Yeah, go.
So this, because you mentioned this about maybe sacrifices made to him, because it is mentioned that some people apparently worshipped him as a god, and that kind of just immediately draws my eye to the Thens, because they see the Magnar of Then as this kind of god king.
Yeah.
And I think we might be in the same situation here with how Garth Greenhand
he was like a first man god king kind of person.
Well, when you want to look at older cultures, and even the Thens, at least from my lens of people in power like power, and they're going to do whatever they can, so the workers going to listen. I don't know. I always got to make it political, but
I know you're such a Marxist talking.
I'm such a Marxist. I'm kidding. Don't throw those words around. I can literally get deported nowadays. Don't do that. So, anyways,
you gotta laugh about it, right? You gotta laugh about it.
As a king, wouldn't it help me a lot if people thought I was a god, like the Egyptians? It's gonna be easier to get people to do what I want if they literally think I'm a deity.
There were ancient Earth societies that were rather than the mandate of the ruler being divine, and that the ruler is like absolutely a medium divine. The ruler is supposed to actually be divine, and he
that
really
propaganda
is a different thing than a person. You know,
that propaganda helps the rule, just like how. When you're going back to A Song of Ice and Fire, how the doctrine of exceptionalism is a thing. Or not only that, but Baseborn are dirtier blood, right? Like it's this whole thing of having more money and more power makes you literally born a better person. With and that's something that's rich in this world.
With what Andy said too, the Finns are the oldest, or they claim, we don't know, but they claim to be like the oldest preserved culture in the North, right? I thought that was
or they just act like they are because they never.
I thought that was kind of one of their things where they're like, we've been around forever and our blah blah. They have this really old timey practice, and that they have like this unbroken practice of their ways. And so, if that is kind of more of a tradition of ancient societies, that would kind of make a bit more sense. That Garth Greenhand's way to fuck back in time. The Magnar's position has been this semi-preserved position of beyond human divinity, and Garth Greenhand occupied some kind of position like that because it was just much more common or something, or maybe that was even the way. Maybe that was even part of old god worship, was that leaders were seen as so.
Or maybe he had absolutely no power and he just had the best propaganda machine. He was able to convince everybody to just let him walk around and bang other daughters and wives.
Well, but let's think about it though. Like I would argue that how do you get people to want to let you have sex with all your wives and daughters? Well, that's a cult leader, right?
Bro, I'm magic. Yeah, that's a lot of cult
by convincing you that they are in fact something special.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. And so this would make sense if Garth the Green Hand, either because just culturally, like in the Magnar society, culturally this is how things are practiced, or like you said, he's a master of propaganda, and we live in a world where you could convince people that you are in fact a god. Then you would have people say, well, he's he's divine. He needs to, breed more. He needs to have more kids. And
he
by
probably
God, he
had
kids
his
with my
words.
family or whatever,
It's probably a mixture of all that. He probably was a cult leader, and not only that, but he had his own oratory where he would go talk. This is what I got going on, blah blah. But he probably sent out what you would call a preacher or something like that, or like your the 7 speakers that Jaehaerys Targaryen does later, who are going around and spreading this doctrine of
The
how
Missionaria
powerful Garth the Green is.
Yes.
Exactly. I don't want to get stuck on this because we technically haven't talked about a Gardener King yet. We haven't talked about it. So
continue.
I want to move on, but this is
descendants, and one of them even becomes king, didn't you say?
Yes, yeah, and that's the one.
Just
Thank
one.
you. Just one.
Do you think the Children of the Forest founded Burning Man?
Yes.
Yes.
No, you know what? And then it got ruined as soon as the humans found out, and then it got too what word am I looking for?
Corporate.
Yeah, why do you
corporate.
think people do not go to the Isle of Faces? It got ruined, man.
Yeah, it got too. We make it to the Isle of Faces, and there's a McDonald's and a Levi's, and you're like, what? It got ruined? What the hell? All right, when did it get so corporate? You know how expensive water is now at the burning of the Green Man?
Yeah.
Before we get off Garth the Green Hand, can I answer one thing from the chat? Alan John said maybe the children taught him agriculture in exchange for blood tribute. Now I think this is
very possible.
However, I disagree, but because I want to say I believe the children did not practice agriculture, but the children did teach men how to worship the trees, and that was, if I recall, part of the pact. So no, he was learning things from the children, maybe, or at least his society was. So yeah, I would say that they probably practiced agriculture already. They might have even brought that over, at some point. But because I don't think the children practiced agriculture. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't think so. I don't think we have any confirmation, but I agree.
Either way, what Alan says is true in a sense, in that they definitely were exchanging things culturally. They accepted the religion of the trees, and they must have been taught that practice because they didn't know it.
We'll talk later about a king literally looking for help, seeking children of the forest, and this would be hundreds of years after this. So if anybody was literally making deals, and they even said that he tried to work with the giants and work with the children, but the children are like, no, we're fine, dude.
So Alan says herb lore too. Herb lore, I think, obviously referring to like herbology, and so I think that is probably true too. Like especially when the first men come to Westeros, it's an unfamiliar environment where they don't know the local like flora and fauna as well.
Yeah,
and this is the same thing is true of the Andals. So like those things in real life cause lots of social havoc sometimes, and there's like accusations and people die in masses. Like there's just lots of things that happen when you have environmental interchange. And so that's probably something that I would agree that I think the children of the forest would undoubtedly have shared cultural traits or cultural practice beyond religion with the first men that would have shaped their society. And like the old man practices or things the maesters even know that were borrowed or grew up in the societies, they might have come from the children, like in portions,
Oh yeah.
I want to just confirm something. If memory serves, and I might be wrong, I do think that it's somewhat explicitly stated that when the first men came over, it kind of started creating a conflict at some point because they started chopping down the forest to build farms.
Exactly.
So they already brought it over, so it's not.
Yeah, but because the first men practiced sedentary society trait, like they built buildings, they had agriculture. That's the thing the children didn't do. It seemed like, and the giants, they didn't seem to do that either. They all seemed to be kind of more. The giants seemed nomadic to a degree. The children seemed kind of just more like hunter gatherers.
I definitely think I would not ever call the children nomadic just because we know of their towns, like because there are like the Hollow Hill and in Blood Raven's Cave. They were very much
live in areas, but they weren't like I said, like building like cities the way
they were building caves. Yeah, they were building.
See, here's the thing, though. You can be semi-nomadic if you migrate between other places.
Absolutely.
The flow of nature. You overhunt in an area.
You're right. There's like the big spot we all gather at a couple times a year, or the big big spot that we raise our kids or whatever. But besides that, then you go
there's
out.
There's a
and you
lot
come
of
back.
blend too, and if the children are based on, for example, like
when you're done talking right now, I'm gonna start this.
Oh, I was gonna say, if the children are based on like Native American society, for example, there might have been like a bunch of diversity or whatever. Like some of the children might have been nomadic, and some of them might have lived in constructed places, and some of them might have lived in non-constructed places in just caves. Like there was a tons of diversity in the Americas. So I'm like, maybe it was like that, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And then maybe one big I don't want to say mecca because but the one big spot that they can all go to, and that's where the caves maybe are. Because it doesn't seem like there's as many cave systems. We know of a few, but there's probably more right under our nose in the books of like old Children of the Forest towns like that we just haven't recognized. Like Hollow Hill absolutely is one.
Yeah.
And of course Blood Raven's Cave is still actively one. And I'm sure I would say the Whisper sounds like one, but maybe that's just me.
It could be. I would not say definitively, but it's certainly a candidate.
I don't want to get into Clarence Crab. I want to move on. But Clarence Crab definitely
You
sounds
don't
like
want to spend 20 minutes talking about Clarence Crab.
I've done I've just done that. That's why it's not interesting. Go watch my Whispers video where I'm like, hey, I'm pretty sure Clarence Crab's a freaking green sea. Or moving on.
Well, yeah, let's roll through and then we'll talk.
All
about
right, all right. Yeah. Let's get moving on. The first one, Garth the Gardener was the legendary first king of the Reach and the founder of House Gardener. Garth was the eldest son of the mythical king Garth Greenhand, or mythical Garth Greenhand, and the High King of the First Men, and said to be the ancestor of numerous houses in the Reach. According to legend, Garth Gardener made his home on the hill atop the Mander, that in time would become known as High Garden, and wore a crown of vines and flowers. From his loins sprang House Gardener, whose kings would rule for many thousands of years. So yeah, we don't know too much about this guy except his name's Garth. Really, all I said there was Garth was son of Garth Greenhand, and then he started the house. Right? Like there's really nothing else.
Do you think you could summarize it a little further?
He was a dude.
He did a thing.
And it's funny because from at least as far as some of the other children that we have
we got a lot more knowledge about them.
We got a lot more. There's a couple that we know less about, but there's like
so many of them. He doesn't start his. Everybody else has a magical reason why their house was started. He doesn't. He just started it.
Gilbert of the Vines. He just teaches people how to make wine.
Well, yeah, but then there's like the dude who drank, like the guy who drank boar blood, right?
Yeah.
The house builder, or the was it Rowan? The
Rowan
wrapped my hair in the apple and turned the apple gold. Like there's like I did a magical thing, and then I had a kid. That's
a
like
couple of them
else.
are very much magical. Some of them are not, but a lot of them do have.
Flores of Fox is just the best, the best person at hiding adultery of all time.
And there's obviously like Rose of Red Lake, who is like a skin changer, and the twins that founded House Tarly with the
House
Wood
Crane.
Witch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. The twins that founded House Tarly dated. Yeah. See, it's weird of how unmagical he is compared to them. Like it was literally just he founded it.
Can I just say
he picked the right spot, started the High Garden, and then he's like, "All right, I'm your king."
Can I just say really quick? It's always so impressive the amount of lore that you guys can remember.
Well, it's my job. It's my hobby. It's not my job.
Between Taco and Tormund, the amount of lore is just unbelievable that can be drawn on here.
I don't know. My brain just does it.
Certainly, if you guys have an extra penny or so in your pocket, you should toss it Taco's way. Surely for the amount of research this man does, because
I would highly appreciate that.
Like I'm in a bachelor's program for history, and I also do like long form multi-hour like research project videos on the side. And like I look at what Taco does, and I'm like, Taco, you basically do the exact same thing, but for a sci-fi.
Yeah. I literally
It's not
model...
long form, but you do more bite size, but it's like you sit there and kind of research this. Like who's the people who wrote the World of Ice and Fire? How they just kind of are like are researchers and archivists on George R. Martin stuff. You're kind of like that.
Yeah, Ilya Garcia and Linda Antonsen. I always forget their names.
Yeah.
I literally try to model at least some because when I first started, and especially this specifically is mostly all wiki, like because I don't have time like to do the research in this that I put into my videos. Like I wanted to rock this out in 10 minutes and then so most of these this is almost straight wiki, right? But my videos, the amount of knowledge or the amount of research I do now on how it evolved, where it started off as like wiki and then anything I remember. Yeah. And now it's like looking at the book, typing every single word, like typing like the character I'm looking up and seeing how many times it pops up in the books and then going through it, finding out which ones. I had to literally look at how my old professors did lectures and try to like I try to build it that way now.
You totally got it down. Like I say, if one day I ever write a book about A Song of Ice and Fire or something like that, I'll definitely be citationing you. You gotta watch that Taco Bout video right there because he talks this whole thing out. That's where I'm pulling that.
I do wonder of how many people who do lore stuff go back like they're like, oh, what's this character again? And I wonder how many go to me to see. Like I've just like had that thought of like, am I a resource? I'm assuming I'm a resource.
I actually is the thing. You built up like almost an archive of
you have, and I've actually used it.
Yeah, thank you. See, I know it's there.
You can legitimately use you as a credible archive for George R. Martin characters because you research them pretty well.
I've had comments by people who say, dude, stop trying to be funny. Just tell me the lore. And I had to like be like, yeah, that's the wiki. Like go do like
go read the wiki then.
Go read the wiki.
Yeah,
I'm trying to be entertaining. Wiki, I'm trying to give the lore in a fun way. But if you don't want to hear my dumb voice, just fucking read it. Then don't listen to my dumb voice.
There truly is a market for AIs reading Wikipedia.
Yes, and you know what? If that's what you're looking for, do it. But like, believe it or not, I'm a human, and I do things flawed, and I love that about me. I love that I make mistakes. You know, like I think it's what my fan likes about it. My one or two people who really like my work.
Well, thank God you're not a clanker.
I'm not a clanker. I'm a meatbag.
Yeah.
But and the funny thing is, and we've talked about this is one of the like 10 things I could do this on. It's just the one that picked up. I could do this on Star Wars. I could do this on Marvel Comics. I could do this on Elder Scrolls. I tried. I have a couple Elder Scrolls videos.
Yeah, I've looked back.
Yeah, I only have I have about 10 lores I have in my head as much as this one. Which is nuts, I think.
I don't have as many as you, but I do have Elder Scrolls and Marvel in there as well.
Yeah. I mean, I'm now lost on Marvel because I stopped buying about 5 years ago. I stopped buying the weekly comics and shit moves on, right? So like I've been seeing characters where I'm like, I don't know who that character is. And it's kind of weird on me because I was stuck on it for like 20 years. But anyways, let's move on. And
here we go.
I have something actually.
Talk about Better Wolverine. Thank
Wolverine.
You. I was just about to plug my PayPal and my.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Wolverine is DC, so I don't know how well you guys got your DC universe down. Right?
Nope. You are wrong.
I am wrong. Is Wolverine Marvel?
Wolverine's in X-Men. Yeah, he's literally part of Cyclops.
Yeah. See, I don't know comic books at all, so that's on
he
my.
started in a Hulk
comic. Is Batman DC? Batman's DC. Right?
Yes, Batman is DC.
Batman's DC. Now, see, I should know this because I do Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man as a cosplay because I look just like the motherfucker. So I don't know anything about the series.
Random. I'm gonna put this up so I can read this now. Can I have a minute? Do you mind?
Sure, go ahead.
All right, thank you. Random, can you shut up, please? I love you, but just shut up sometimes. All right. Cyclops Better Wolverine, thank you so much. Never understood why the High Towers that never usurped the Tyrells, why they never usurped them. They have a better claim Oh, the High Towers. Okay, they have a better claim to High Garden and have so many houses loyal to them.
Well,
And they could do it in a
really.
fortnight. Well, the main reason is because the Tyrells have the Targaryen backing, right? Like, that's why. Because if they did, because the Tyrells don't become kings. Well, they never become kings of the Reach, but the Tyrells become lords of the Reach after the Field of Fire, which we get to. And at that point, if they try to usurp, like, hey, we have the better claim, that's a rebellion. And that's a rebellion that will probably be put down by, like, either
Dragons,
Visenya or Rainier or Maegor the Cruel. Like, pick one, depending on when you do it after. That's why.
And they have the whole prophecy about Old Town burning, but I actually disagree that the Hightowers had a better claim. Like, sure, they are descended in some ways from Garth the Greenhand more directly as a house, but
they're not
what
actually
you look
from
into
Garth
in
the
the.
Greenhand.
So,
They're from before it, or not? Maybe before it.
Andy,
Well,
what's-
they're matrilineally because one of his daughters married the founder of House Hightower. So
Oh, yeah,
matrilineally
you're
they
right.
are.
You're right.
But
You're right.
the whole thing is irrelevant anyway because succession doesn't work on whether you descended from Garth the Greenhand. It's based on relation to the gardener, the most recent gardener kings. And as far as our law tells us, the ones who had a better claim were Florent.
I literally guessed it. Yeah, Marith the Maid. I had all the Greenhands up right here. Yeah, married King Uther of the Tower. So, yeah, way less of a claim. Definitely a claim. And also, you know, how much of a claim? A claim's only to back up your martial, right? Like your martial ability. Like, Aegon Targaryen didn't have a fucking claim. He had dragons. So,
Exactly.
if the High Tower, just like Robert Baratheon, takes over and then Maesters go, oh, and he's kind of related. You know, like, you can
he
use
would
it.
have been the next in line after.
He wouldn't have been the
main
next.
task. What do you mean? Like, he
Well,
would be.
Viserys.
Well,
and
I
Daenerys.
said after the besides the male line Targaryens, after them, he is next because he's the next male line related guy. What should you discount Aerys, Rhaella, Rhaegar, Aegon?
Well, then,
blah, blah, blah.
yeah, or Stefan. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
If you discount
you're
the
right.
main Targaryen family, he's next. because
Yeah, if you discount the
has
main Targaryen
his
family,
part
yeah.
grandma.
Yeah, you're not wrong on that.
is that true or is that
No, it's
revised?
actually true.
So,
Yeah.
but only because of Targaryen incest, the fact that it was like 2 generations ago when there was a Baratheon involved, that was, but they never bang anybody else. So there was one Baratheon, the daughter of Aegon the Fifth, went over, and that was the last like cross contamination, if you will.
Robert's grandma
Targaryen.
was
there's
Rhaelle
very few
Targaryen.
outside influences of the Targaryen tree. I was gonna say to Andi, what you said earlier about the High Towers, though, with the prophecy. So
Yes.
not
I
necessarily.
don't want to get stuck on this too long, though,
I'll
Randall.
say not necessarily saying the prophecy is true or not, but I would answer that question by saying the High Towers like never really seemed. Well, maybe you guys can correct me on that one. To aspire to be anything really too much greater than the Lords of Old Town. So they can
Great, though.
they can keep safe and manipulate, and they can maintain their security, and they can not trip that prophecy, and they can all do that from the security of the High Tower. So I think
soft power.
I think
Soft
that's
power.
why
So
they
the
never
main
usurp the Tyrells is they don't have the desire to rule the whole Reach. They really
There's
have
no
the desire
reason.
for autonomy in Old Town, which they kind of get in a lot of regards.
Absolutely. They
Yes,
have
they
the
are
Faith, they
preeminence.
have the Maesters.
Yeah.
They are almost entirely more powerful, except for martial force. That's
Yeah.
like the only. And then they have the. Even if they did start a war, just because they have Old Town, an extremely hard city to siege, because people do it. I think they got burnt a couple times, but yeah, like I definitely think, why start a war when I have as big as a bank account already?
Yeah,
Like, you know, like it would just
seem-
be.
They seem content to have their kingdom within a kingdom, and that's what I would say is that's
Arguably
probably
a
I would
better
argue
kingdom.
the reason why they don't take.
I would
the
actually
Reach,
say
you know.
they're content being the grey eminence, like all the power, none of the accountability.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
on
exactly,
top
yeah.
of it, the other side has the backing of Aegon fucking Targaryen.
Well,
Exactly.
also
Exactly.
think about how rough life is for Mace Tyrell trying to play, big King of the Reach, and I like the High Towers just simply keep it going better
Dude.
because they keep the game smaller.
Mace
They
the
don't try to
man.
run the whole thing. They just run really efficiently their one little space, their little kingdom within a kingdom.
I'm gonna move on. Mace Tyrell is a uber genius. And I'm gonna move on. I think he is the greatest player of the game in the entire show. I'm not really. I don't really think he plays 40 chess, but I definitely think he plays 3D chess. I think Mace is definitely smarter than he puts off. He is not an oaf by any means.
It's an interesting argument to wonder how much he's.
I think he's definitely smarter than he puts off. Anyway,
Yeah.
The early kings. So I love that the second king, we go from Garth the First to Garth the Third. So we already know that we have an incomplete line because then it goes right to the fifth. So Garth the Third Gardener, also called Garth the Great. Garth extended the borders of the Reach northward, winning Old Oak, Red Lake, and Golden Grove. So all of those are descendants of Garth the Green Ham, by the way. With pacts of friendship and mutual defense. In the annals of history, his name writ large. I wrote hidden name. His name is writ large. There's a lot of in the annals of history, his name is writ large. So I kept it in there. So do we got anything for Garth the Great? Do we want to stop in between all of these?
I think, honestly, given how many there are, if these are like all a bunch of Garths,
we have 30.
Blow through a bunch of Garths at once. Let's get past.
We're
Garths.
gonna burn through just one more Garth. All right, how about this? Stop me if you have something for that king, and then I'm gonna. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So then we got Garth the Fifth, who was dubbed the Hammer of the Dornish for his legendary conflicts with Dornishmen. Garth the Fifth may be inspired by Edward the First of England, who is called the Hammer of the Scots.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
That's
and
right.
Then we got Gawain the First, who was just called. Oh, I wrote Garth the Gallant. Gawain the Gallant. I filmed today my every single Gawain Gardener video. I filmed that short today. So if you guys got any questions on Gawain's, I can't hear the name Gawain without thinking Gawain's World. Like, because the name's so close to Wayne. Gawain, I don't know.
Gawain's
just
Honestly, I think of it as just weirder version of Gawain, like as in Gawain, the Arthurian knight.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what it is. But but my brain doesn't go to the Arthurian knight. It goes to the SNL movie classic Wayne's World.
Which, by the way, fun fact, Gawain has a famous story in the Arthurian cycle, which is Gawain and the Tale of Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, which is one of the first instances of the Green Man appearing in like English folklore.
I wanted to throw sorry. So Makar, Dead Mary Dane, yes, and Egg of Blackwood. Both of those are before Egg's daughter married out that way, and also you're talking about these houses moving in.
Yeah,
that
we're
doesn't
not talking
help.
about cards moving out.
So houses moving in doesn't help anybody. That doesn't, like, the Danes don't have a claim because a Targaryen female didn't marry a Dane, right? Like that's how it works. So one's moving in. Yeah, I'm just explaining it to Jeremy Hall, and also all those were before, because it would have been Egg's daughter who married the son of Lionel Baratheon, I believe.
Yes,
right?
That would be Ormond.
Ormond Baratheon. Did I do a video for Ormond Baratheon?
You might have done one for Stefan, and
I think I did. It was either Stefan or Ormond. I know I've covered one of them. No, it was Ormond because it was the one who died during the Nine Penny Kings.
Oh, really? Okay.
Maybe. I don't know.
Is there so much to say about Ormond?
I've covered so many characters. Yeah, but you don't always have to cover. I covered Makar.
True.
I covered freaking Makar like this week. Like that video is coming out. That's oh my god, it was so much. Here,
True. I don't mean to like question. I was like wondering out loud.
No, I'm gonna write Baratheon and see what pops up. Let's talk about Ormond Baratheon. Yeah, check that out. A 13-minute video, December 14th, 2024. Boom. Check it out. I totally did. Okay, so anyways, yeah, what was I on? We're talking about these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gawain the Gallant, and then we got Giles the First, called Guile the Woe. I love their nicknames. Giles once sacked Old Town. See, I knew Old Town got sacked a couple times. And reportedly sold 3/4 of its population into slavery. Jeez, Giles. But failed to breach the defenses of the High Tower on Battle Isle. Giles sounds horrible.
I mean, there's a reason they call him the Woe, but I think we should cancel him.
What a dick. Giles the dick.
Yeah.
I do like because it wasn't under their control yet. So it's like weird to think of a Gardener King sacking Old Town, but yeah, just really early. Mern III, which is the first Mern we're talking about. Mern brought the Arbor into the kingdom and made House Redwine his vassals after his cousin, the king of the Arbor, was lost at sea. What? He made the house his vassals after the king of the Arbor was lost at sea.
Yeah.
Okay. So the king died, and then he's just like, you guys can be ours now. I'm the king.
The king died. He
went
to the cousin's house. Is if I'm not mistaken, the king dies. He goes to the cousin's house and says, "You cousin are now the king of, or now the ruler."
No, I'm your king.
Yeah, well, he makes the other guy the ruler of the area, though, his vassal. That's
Yeah.
The local lord.
So it's kind of like Tormund. This Tormund, not Tormund Giantsbane, is ruling a house near me, and then he lost, and then there's a power vacuum, and then I just go, wait. You guys, I got a king right here.
There's a war, right? So like
probably
he's lost at sea. My guess is probably during the battle with the Reach.
Maybe it does not say that he.
It does not specify that. It just says that the last king of the Arbor was lost at sea. Honestly, it could have just been that the last king of the Arbor didn't have adult heirs, and maybe it was a dispute, and they just decided that this relative who is powerful should become king. You
don't think they'd be warring with them? That's how they're bringing them into the kingdom. I guess it is very ambiguous. I always think of bringing them into the kingdom as like we brought them into the kingdom, at sword point.
Yeah.
It might have been.
Which thing? Oh, right. So this isn't Mern. This is Marion.
Could be a conspiracy. The other thing could be to get all conspiracy theorists here. This could be a conspiracy theory, and it could be that the cousin conspired with the king of the Reach to murder the king of the Red Wines.
I don't want to start that. I mean, we're gonna ruin our Arbor fan base if we start saying stuff like that. And I want to tell you guys which one is the misprint here, or the typo. It's Marion Gardener, and I wrote Mern afterwards. So this is not Mern. This is Marion. There are Merns. This is Marion.
Okay.
My bad. All right. I called him Mern earlier. My bad. Also, keep in mind, the last Mern is Mern IX. That means that they like that horrible name so much that they had 9 kings named Mern.
It was really sexy back then.
Yeah.
It's like
kind of
my Sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's kind of like how people used to name everyone like Archibald. And
that's a good name, though. It's a strong name.
It is a strong name, but until recently, we used to be very, very weird.
Also going to get you strongly made fun of in elementary school.
Yeah, but Archibald's probably going to beat him up because it's Archibald. I'm just assuming that guy can hang, I don't know that name. You guys got grandparents with crazy old people names? My grandpa and grandma were Clifford and Loretta.
Gertrude and Donald.
Yes, boom. Yeah,
Donald's not that weird, but it's still a little bit odd. But it's after Donald Cameron. Yeah, it's still. But
Gertrude
name. Gertrude though is definitely a name you just don't see around anymore. And she went by Trudy, so it's that's definitely kind of old, old age.
I have a helmet.
You have a helmet? What?
No, a helmet. That's a German name.
Yeah, I grew up with a guy in my church named Helmet.
Helmet? That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, not helmet. Helmet with an U.
M-U-T.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that was
the
a fun
name had something with helmet.
That was me derailing it for no reason, just because I wanted to say old people names.
Yep.
What about some more kings? How about some more?
Was
kings?
that impressive?
Very nice.
Yeah, very nice. All right. So we got a Garland. Garland, the second Gardener, called Garland the Bridegroom. So this is gonna be some good ones here. In the annals of history, his name is writ large, blah blah. Garland brought House Hightower of Old Town and their domains peacefully into the Kingdom of the Reach through negotiations and marriage with his by marriage, winning his daughter to Lord Lyman Hightower, whilst putting aside his own wife to marry Lyman's daughter. So I find that really funny because it's like, you're going to marry my daughter and I'm going to marry your daughter, and now we're each other's brothers / uncles. That's weird.
That's the way things were.
Families should not marry each other in bulk. It shouldn't happen.
Tell that to George.
It's well, I mean, it's they're like,
It's
they're
weird.
gluing things together, you know. If it maybe one marriage can go astray, but can 4 marriages go astray? If all of our kids get married,
I
can
guess,
they really
but-
pull us apart?
Like if I go to my brother's girlfriend or brother's wife's house for the first time, and I'm like, hey man, her sister's cute. Like, it would be weird then if I then married, like, if there were brothers married.
But what if?
And
what
then
if
now it's
generations-
like-
what if generations of your
I don't
guys' family had killed each other, and one of your past relatives had sold 3/4 of her family's
You're
city
saying-
into slavery?
I don't understand
I mean,
incest.
maybe at that point you're like, well, we got to patch this up lest we keep Hatfielding and
I-
McCoying ourselves into out of existence. You know,
I don't understand incest because I'm not rich enough. That's what you're saying.
that's
Yeah.
true. That's true. Yeah, it is something for the wealthy. It is something.
It's
for the
it's
wealthy.
either for the poorest of poor or the wealthiest of wealthy. It's not a middle
Nothing
class.
in between.
Nothing in between. Rust, you got anything? You've been silent for a while.
Nope.
All right, cool. Thanks for showing up, Rust.
No comment.
Now we got Gawain the Third, called Gawain the Fat. So now we're gonna start some Manderley Peak stuff here. Gawain the Fat. Gawain persuaded Lord Peak and Manderley to accept his judgment on their quarrel and do fealty for their lands without any bloodshed. And yeah, his name is writ large too. So he's like, guys, stop fighting. Let me handle it, and I'll be your king afterwards. That was probably a really hard sell at dinner, and somehow he made it work. He's like, I get you guys are both kings, and I get that you have some really legitimate beefs. How about this? Shut up, and I'm your king. Go home.
God, the mental fortitude on this man to deal with
Yeah.
the Manderley Peak feud.
Bro. So the Gawains, in my video, I have that Gawain the Fat, and then I have a Gawain that's going to come up way later on, is the one that had the Peaks like ride out the Manderleys and exile the Manderleys. So it's like it comes full. Gawains come full circle. It's like it's a Gawain who's like brought him in the realm, and then a Gawain who's like, Manderley, get out of here, go north. You look like a merman, anyways. What are you doing? So, all right.
Yeah.
Anything else? No. All right. I thought we
I
would
mean-
have something on Peaks and Manderleys.
I mean, they fought like cats and dogs, so yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure there's much to say about their history as of now. Like, they feuded for
We'll
a
talk
long
about 'em
time.
later. Yeah, we'll talk about him even more later. All right. The Tall and the Grim. So we got John the Second Gardener, who's called the Tall. John sailed his barge up the Mander to its very headwaters, planting the Gardener banner wherever he went and receiving homage from lords and petty kings whose lands lined the river banks. And yeah, he's writ large. So he brought the entire Mander into the Reach, which is, I think that sounds pretty impressive.
This dude's a real conqueror.
Yeah,
It
dude.
also kind of shows how powerful the Gardeners were growing at this point. Like, if the
He didn't have
history
to
is to
fight
be
anybody.
believed, he didn't have to fight anybody. He just sailed up the Mander with his barge and planted his flag, and everyone flocked, which
Yeah.
might just say something about the soft power they had at that point already.
Well, and it probably wasn't a barge. he was probably on one of the barges. There was probably a bunch, and there was probably a giant army walking next to the river. And anywhere he went, he's like, hey, would you like to peacefully, wink, come into the Kingdom of the Reach? And they're like, I mean, if it's that or get murked, yeah.
Well, they do seem to offer some real incentives, though. Like, you have to admit that being in the Reach is pretty good. Like, you get access to tons of food, you get access to tons of military power. Like, you're pretty wealthy. So it's not too bad of a deal. It's certainly, I agree with you. You're going to be submitting because you don't want to fight, but you get something out of it.
It's not a bad kingdom at this time, at least. And also, look at, even though we barely made it into this, we covered, I think all of you guys were here. Most of you guys were here when we did the Iron Island Kings, I think, right? Who missed that? Did any of you guys miss it? No?
I don't fucking know, man.
I think I was.
Yeah, I know. It's like, dude,
I might have been there. Probably was there. Maybe, yeah.
I know Audie was. But that was like comparing so far. The Iron Islands is just nothing but slaughtering each other at all times. It's just like a King's Moot happened, a bunch of people were killed at it, blah, 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 blah. And it was like comparing the nasty, bloody history of other kingdoms compared to the Reach so far. It's like the Reach just kind of hung out and did a little bit of war here and there, but they definitely seem a lot more peaceful. But maybe that's just the propaganda, and
it might just be that, yes.
Yeah, might just be the propaganda. So you're saying that John the Tall actually raided and burned the Manor and forced everybody down. Well, it very
but
possible.
I like your idea. I like your idea about then the histories excluding the large fuck you army that was following him around.
Yeah, no, he no doubt would be exercising some power, but he probably would also be exercising some show of grace and the wealth that could be built.
Yeah.
Things like that. Oh, hey, you got another chat.
Yeah.
Oh, I did?
Yes,
Oh,
you did.
House Harlaw, too. Look at that, House Harlaw.
All the Iron Islands, yeah. I love House Harlaw. I think House Harlaw is absolutely my favorite of the Iron Island houses, by a lot. I've covered 10 Towers was the first location in the Reach when I'm now covering locations, and the first one I picked for the Reach, or not the Reach, sorry, the Iron Islands was Harlaw.
Yeah,
like
Harlaw is very good. The Reader, Roderick the Reader.
Yep. And then the first north was Grey Garden, or Grey Garden, Grey. Oh my God, Greywater Watch had to be. Yeah, it was between that and a couple others, but I love Greywater Watch so much, so I just put that video out this week.
I still love the Reader because he has, like, in my opinion, like one of the best disses in the whole series. Like, Euron's like ranting his ass off, and he's like, "I've been to Valyria," and then Harlaw's just like, "Really?" He says, "Have you?" He says, "Have you?" Softly. He's like, "Have you?" or something. But it's really funny. So I thought that was one of the best. And
I just
surprisingly,
here's the kicker.
Here's the kicker. Was interesting. I thought he was going to get murdered by Euron for sure, but
he might still be.
He probably is going to.
Yeah.
Here's the kicker, though. Here's the kicker, though, about that. When the Reader did that, Euron just stormed the fuck out of the room. Like, he didn't even try.
Yeah, he was just all pissy because he got told what's what by Roderick the Reader.
Yeah, but you guys remember Carl the Maid heckled Euron? And like, that's something that I brought up in my Carl the Maid video, because I always think about like Euron's doing all this stuff, and right after the horn is blown, so everyone's like, here's this crazy Valyrian war horn that murdered the guy who did it, and everyone's like, what? And then like Carl the Maid's like, boo, like, boo, you're ugly, dude. Like, he just heckles him, and it's like,
weak ass horn, bro.
Cool story, bro. Just everybody
I find those moments to be really, really good in the series when some random character just roasts the shit out of some super important character.
Yeah. He's definitely getting killed.
Oh yeah, him, Good Brother, and Drum. Inspiring.
Don't talk crap about Carl the Maid. Carl the Maid's not the cuck, isn't that? Would be freaking.
No. Carl the Maid is the one doing.
You'd be Carl the Bull.
Yeah,
exactly. Carl Bull.
Carl the CNC guy, like with the craziest. freaking sex in the whole book.
He's getting it on. You know,
He's getting it on more than Ariane Martell, dude. Like that chapter is arguably steamier than the
It is one of the steamier chapters in the whole series.
I always found it so weird listening to like David reads A Song of Ice and Fire at work. So I got like a dude's voice in my ear when we get like to one of those two chapters, and he's reading the voice or reading the words of another guy, and I'm at work, and then I'm just like, whoo!
So also lesser mentioned with Carl the Maid, unless I'm much mistaken, he is considered to be one of the top of the top at sword fighting. And that is why him standing with Asha matters, because very few people would go toe-to-toe with him and expect to come out the other side.
Absolutely. Carl the Maid is considered one of the better...
And this is amongst like super elite guys that consider like their ability to kill like to be a point of pride. Like, you know, he's considered high up. Like, it's fucking... Is it the Cleft Jaw or some shit that says his name? Like... He's
I think the Cleft Jaw
mentions him and Andric the Unsmiling.
Yeah, no, he's noted.
He's up there with Andric the Unsmiling,
like a serious motherfucker amongst serious motherfuckers. So,
and he can't even grow a beard yet
because he's in that crazy sex scene.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're not even like giving him a hard time for using a sword, so you know that.
Yeah,
he's
I think
got some respect going on.
I think actually no, not a lot of people use swords in the Reach. I know some. That's
my point. Is most of them would probably look down on somebody using a sword over an axe.
I don't know.
So the fact that they don't.
There's a lot of swords out there, and there's even like
it's funny. Like all the real good Reach fighters we know of, besides Carl the Maid, actually do swing axes. So yeah,
there are a lot of axes in Iron Island. I agree. There are a lot of axes in the Iron Island, but
what do I keep saying?
You keep saying Reach.
Well, we're talking about the Reach. I can't. My brain ain't
in Iron Island. We should be talking about the Reach.
Yeah, we should be talking about the Reach.
But
I'm surprised we haven't done the stay on target yet. Like, where's the stay on target?
Oh, my bad.
Stay on target. We're too close. Stay on target.
My bad.
Staying on target. The next king.
All right, let's get to it. All right. Where are we? Did we do the Grim?
No.
All right. Called the Grim. Garrett II called the Grim. Gareth was slain in battle by Harren Harlock, King of the Iron Islands, beneath the walls of Old Town. We're gonna get to wait until I get to this is our biggest fights against the Ironborn. Garth the Gardener called the Morning Star. Garth died in a battle against the
oh god.
Oh dude, yeah, you're right ahead.
It's a family tradition at this point.
And then Giles II. Giles was taken captive in a naval battle near the Misty Islands and tortured to death by Joran the First Blacktide, an Ironborn High King of the Iron Islands. Giles' corpse was then cut up into small pieces to bait the captor's fishhooks with a chunk of king. I remember when we read that from the Iron Island perspective. I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Yeah.
Like, dude, you're literally a worm. Like we're baiting our hooks with you. That's how, like, think about just how freaking like demasculating the reach of just like, dude, you guys literally bait our fish hooks. I'm gonna catch a fish up.
And we just see now a large period of large conflict between the Reach and the Iron Islands. Like this just signifies it's a long history of conflict.
This is way before the Andals. In like these guys are killing each other. Yeah.
Yeah, this is before the Grey Irons even take over.
Yeah, way before. Because we haven't even made it to the Golden Hand. We got one more king before we make it to the biggest, in my opinion, one of the biggest kings we got left. So the Tall and the Grim, we got Gordon the First, called Grey Eyes. That's all we got of him.
That's all we got. Grey Eyes. Well, apparently he wasn't murdered by the Ironborn.
Yeah, he lived.
Yeah, he was jaded from watching everyone else get murdered by the Ironborn, hence the Grey Eyes. But he himself was not killed.
I could just
you see, Grey is a metaphor for disappointed.
Gordon, your father died.
I was going to say, or for having just seen too much.
let me do the scene really quick. Congratulations on becoming king. Sorry about your dad getting chopped up and fed to fish by the Iron Islanders. And also sorry about your grandpa and your uncle as well. So anyways, as your first thing as king, what do you want to do about the Iron Islanders attacking Old Town? Fuck them.
Yeah.
I'm doing that.
So on a somewhat unrelated note, the Ironborn are sieging Hightower again.
Yep.
Yeah, about that. Let's
Fuck
not
it.
ride out. I think we're just gonna stay put on this one.
I don't
Let 'em
feel
have
like
it.
being fed to salmon today, so I'm gonna not do that.
Do you think the family was named Hightower after the tower?
Next Tuesday, you know.
Was
Go
the
ahead.
family Hightower named after the tower, or did they just have the name Hightower and they were like, "Oh, I guess we better build a tall tower"?
You know what's so funny is I can answer that question.
I think they were after the tower, but
No,
yes, they
because
were
the
after the
first guy
tower.
I just had it was an Uther.
Off the high tower.
but the
Uther
tower has
of the
been
tower. I thought.
the tower's been built higher over time. Yes or no?
Yeah, 'cause it started
Yes.
off at just the one
Okay.
thing on Battle Isle, like a tiny little fort of the weird. Is it the fused black stone or the greasy black stone? One of those, and that's the
Oily.
base. Oily, thank you. The oily black stone. I don't know if it's that or the fuse. That's what I have to ask. And then it just got built on top of it, on top of it, on top of it. But we don't know where the base came from. We don't know if that's high towers or not. So yeah, Uther of the high space tower, not high tower. Yeah.
Hmm.
And
so
he is
I'm
the one
assuming
who contracted like Bran, the builder.
Oh, yeah, Bran the
to
builder.
apparently build it,
Sure.
which is how he. So the house is named after the castle
Yep.
building.
So
whatever
yeah,
you
so
wanna
the
call it.
tower was there first. To answer your question, Rust.
Like the House of Windsor,
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
naming themselves
essentially.
after a castle.
Essentially.
Yeah. Why not? Garth Garth the seventh, the Golden Hand. So I did a full video of this 2 weeks ago, but yeah, this is the short version, and it's the one of the longest we have. So yeah, Garth the Seventh, called the Golden Hand or Garth Golden Hand. As a boy, Garth turned back a Dornish invasion from King Ferris Fowler, who was having a day off, by the way.
Mm.
I have to. Led 10,000 men through the wide way, intent on conquest. Soon after, he drove the last of the Ironborn from the strongholds on the Misty Isles, and then he renamed them the Shield Isles. So, as a kid, he stopped the Dornish and then stopped the Ironborn, and then now he made the Shield Isles and resettled them with his own fiercest fighters and finest seamen, granting them special what word am I looking for?
Dispensations.
Yeah, dispensations.
Dispensations, with goal of turning them into the first line of defense against Ironborn raiders, and it worked. It's a huge success. In his finest and greatest war, Golden Hand faced an alliance between the Storm King and the King of the Rock, who intended to divide the reach between them. The Golden Hand defeated them both, and then with cunning words sowed such strife between the two that they turned on each other with a great slaughter at the Battle of the Three Armies. I love that so much, by the way.
That is a great image.
Yeah, I love the, like, you're fighting against the Stormlanders or the Storm King, and you're just like, blah, blah, blah. It's like, hey, I heard the King of the Rock says you're fat. And then you're fighting against the King of the Rock. It's like, dude, I heard the Storm King said your wife's ugly. And then now they're fighting. You're like, dude, that's genius. That's good stuff, man. So in the aftermath, Garth married his daughters to their heirs and signed a pact with each, fixing the borders between the three kingdoms. But Garth's greatest achievement was the 3/4 of a century of the Golden Peace. So he, during the 81 years of his reign, the Reach was at war for less than 10 of them. Generations of boys were born, grew to manhood, had their own kids without marching away to war. And with his long peace came an unprecedented prosperity. This period became known as the Golden Reign and was when the Reach truly flowered. Garth the Seventh died when he was 93, frail of body, but still sound of wits, having reigned for 81 years. He was succeeded in the oaken seat by his great-grandson, which we're about to get to. So yeah, that's a golden hand. If you guys want to know more about that, I'm plugging a video. I covered him in way more detail in one video. I did. So
he is interesting because he is very clearly a historical XP in the terms that he is meant to kind of represent Louis XIV of France.
yeah,
Because Louis XIV himself was he came to rule when he was still not an adult, and then ruled for so long that his successor was his great-grandson.
And there's a few of these in history, not in this history. I mean, in the fake A Song of Ice and Fire history, but this is probably the most successful of them, because if you want to, we're gonna talk about somebody later who ruled forever, but he like was feeble at the end, and it's like so horrible. And then there's even like Edric Snowbeard in the north who ruled forever. His great-grandson took over afterwards, but even him at the end of it, like, you know, he lost the Wolf's Den. He was getting attacked here and there. Like, so I feel like Garth the Golden Hand was like one of the few examples of somebody who ruled until his 90s but never stopped being competent, which is a extremely good, huge accomplishment, I would say.
It is.
Yeah.
It's, you can clearly tell that this is like, there's a reason why. I think George just wanted to have a good explanation as to why the Reach was so powerful and so really OP compared to the other kingdoms.
That's just
Sorry.
It's so good. You told me you look like dorks. Wait, they look like dorks.
Okay.
Sorry, Nick.
What was I?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I know. So it's like, I think George really wanted to have like this king to sort of explain how the Reach started to get to this apex of power, how it is like the most powerful kingdom of all in the Seven Kingdoms. And I think Garth Goldenhand kind of does explain that to an extent.
So I'm gonna bring up something, Chrissy. So she said, yeah, for Hands of Gold are always cold, makes me think of that. Yeah, if there's connection. So when I was doing, because every time I do a video, I look, do a quick Google search, looking around the Reddits, just check out if there's any like big videos that cover theories that I want to bring up for set characters. So I just like Googled like Garth Golden Hand theories, and I can't remember the person's name, but one of the theories was like, because of that line and because Jaime having a gold hand, it's like, oh, this is clearly what George is getting at with Garth the Golden Hand is when Jaime comes back to King's Landing, he will take it over, fix everything, and rule for 80 years. And it's like, I think you're a little off on that.
No,
that's what we're getting at.
That's a stretch, but I do think the nickname. But I do think
Book of Revelation bullshit right there.
Yeah,
I do think in universe the nickname of a golden hand might be like shorthand for someone who is very just.
Yeah,
and that's maybe why Jaime kind of sort of starts thinking of himself as that is his goal, to be golden hand the just.
The just, yeah. I think you're completely straight on. Is the connection isn't, oh, and then he's gonna rule for 80 years. The connection is he's gonna be remembered as somebody good. And that's what Jaime wants. And of course, just because we are setting that up makes you wonder if we're ever going to get that. And I think that Jaime's legacy, even going forward, is going to be somebody who we, the readers, know is a good person, but somebody who's always going to have a soiled reputation. And I think that is Jaime's like lot in life, his whole life already, because everyone thinks of him as the Kingslayer when he prevented a giant mass murder, the whole city exploding. Like he did something really, really good, and he's hated for it. So I honestly think that that's going to be his lot for the rest of his life, and that's the bittersweetness of Jaime Lannister, of the pretty monster who's actually a good person, but he's going to die without anyone knowing that, just because he likes to bang his twin. Never mind, he's gross.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone got, where are we? Any more golden hands? things we got? You guys got anything else? It's like
Only
one
the
of the
ones that choked Shay to death, but whatever. Those are
The what?
unrelated.
The what?
It's a reference to the chain.
Sorry.
Yeah, I said only the golden hands that choked Shay to death, because the chain that choked Shay to death.
I was working on a King Midas joke, but
oh, there you go. No, I meant anything about golden hand. Yes, you're right. There is also the golden hands of the necklace that choked Shay to death. But yeah.
Yeah, but that was a joke. My bad.
I just remembered the Muppets version of King Midas.
Do you want to share? Or is that just gonna be you gonna leave it?
Oh, well, it was Kermit, and you know how he gets when he's exasperated, all floppy.
Yeah. Sorry,
it happens when he tries to.
Like how he gets when he's exasperated, all floppy, and I'm like, which Reach King are we talking about now?
King Kermit.
Yeah, Kermit.
King Kermit of the Reach.
Yeah, yep. King Kermit the floppy Gardener, the fifth.
It's when someone tries to like feed him a grape because everything he touches turns to gold, and as soon as the grape hits the back of his throat, it turns to gold.
Oh,
and he like starts freaking out.
Yeah. Oh man!
You guys haven't seen the Muppets? The Muppet. I don't remember what it's called. Was it Muppets Fairy Tales?
I don't know.
Whatever it was.
No,
it's a collection of
I haven't seen
those.
in a long time. So
oh man,
that's really funny.
I probably didn't get them in Austria, so no.
Yeah. Muppets should be a regular dose in everybody's life.
All right.
Yeah, Muppets are good. Muppets are good. They are definitely fun.
So so King Midas, whatever happened there.
Your brother Billy, whatever happened there.
Sorry, I had to play that for us. I do have like a couple of things specifically. I got something for Mern IX later on that you're gonna really like. And I also have just for the Reach, I got this. I didn't mean to click it twice. So that's if you need to know which kingdom we're talking about, it's the Frodo in the Mount Doom.
Yes, this is a reminder to everyone watching in stream that this is indeed about the Reach.
Yeah, yes. If you need to know which kingdom we're in Mordor.
Yeah,
we're in Mordor. Yeah. And then if you want to remember about kings, I'm
your king. Well, I didn't vote for you.
Okay, that's Westeros.
Westeros.
Family Guy straight up stealing the joke.
I didn't vote for him.
Like they had to have done that voice on purpose, even. Like, that's just straight up.
Yep.
Well, I didn't vote for him. Is that how all British women sound?
Basically.
Yeah.
In Monty Python sketches, at least.
Well, because I'm Monty Python, I always like forever to think like a British woman. Like they all sound.
Yeah, all British women sound like John Cleese doing a voice. It's just true.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, I mean, according to every rendition of My Fair Lady I've ever seen, yes, that's exactly what they sound like.
I feel like the approach of doing a female voice in a sketch comedy show of just doing the highest pitch falsetto, like don't even try to be convincing, is inspired. I love that.
It's the same as giving a character just long hair or a backwards hat for like a flashback scene when they're supposed to be much younger.
Yeah, absolutely. Or I don't know why my brain's going to this movie, but doing a flashback, but instead of casting a kid, you just make all the props big. So the same dude, but he's got a huge bowl of like cereal and a huge hat, and he's like, Orgasmo is what I'm doing there. Yeah, just make everything big, and that's all. You don't cast a kid. All right,
that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Thank you. Let's talk about preparing for the Andals. All right. Gawain the Fourth. I love this one. I definitely am going to stop after this so we can talk about it. Gawain the Fourth called the gods fearing. Generations before the Andals arrived, Gawain sent his warriors in search of children of the forest in hope that their green seer magic can help the invaders. That is like the most loaded paragraph. Like, how did they know that the Andals were going to invade generations before? Like, what, 30, 40 years before? I know it's going to happen. And then there's finding but is it because the Hammer of Dorn, like they stopped the last invasion, and like we know that the Children of the Forest can use magic to stop the invaders? So it's like, are they asking, is that what he's looking for? Can we get the Hammer of the Waters again so we can destroy whatever? Like that's what it like almost sounds like to me. Am I way off or what?
No, I agree with the second bit especially. I don't know about the first, because as far as I understand, the Andal invasion happened across like 100 or so years. So
You're right. So you're saying they probably already are in the Vale. They're probably already in the Vale. Okay.
Yeah. That would be how I would interpret it. I know I'm not fun. I'm using Occam's razor.
No,
I know.
No, you're not wrong. But remember, this isn't the start of it. This is generations before. So their Andals aren't like slowly moving their way in yet. This is even before that, because the 3 Sage Kings is like 50 years of the slowest invasion. So that slow invasion does happen in like 20 years or 30 years, right?
Yeah. I'm not saying that it might precede the Andal invasion, that he might have been some sort of green seer. I mean, the Gardeners definitely had some magic blood in them. Like,
oh yeah, definitely.
Like, let's not make two ways about it. But
this is Jim Henson Storytellers. You didn't know that?
But yeah, he definitely. I think you're spot on with the Hammer of Dawn and the Hammer of the Waters and all that stuff. I think that might be exactly. I think you hit it right on the head. Like
that's what he's looking for. Of like, find the Children of the Forest. Why? So they can freaking do that thing they did last time.
Yeah. Either, I don't know, destroy them in Dawn or cut the veil off.
Yeah, do the Hammer of the Veil. Just
blow up.
But they already came in ships. So it's like, the Andals invaded in ships, and they just make it an island. So they're like, all right, we'll use the ships. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
All right. So then we got Mern. See, now we're in the Merns, not the Marins. I'm not saying it wrong this time. These are honest to God, true-born Merns. So Mern II called Mern the Mason before the Andals arrived. So we still know the Andals are coming. All right, just wait. The British are coming. Mern built a new curtain wall around Highgarden and commanded his Lord Bannerman to see to their own defenses. So again, before they make it to the Reach, like, and I know what you're saying, like in the comments too, about like, yeah, invasions take on forever. That, like, I think it's even before they're showing up, because we hear about them showing up in the slow invasion. So this is when they're not even here yet, is how I'm like.
Yeah, they're not in the Reach.
Sage Kings is when the Andals are slowly starting to invade. So it's weird how, you're right, they're probably just already in the Vale, but like them knowing about it so much in advance that they're even like building entire like walls. You don't throw up huge stone walls overnight, it's like a whole, it's a king's entire life of like, let's build a wall. So, so, and then Mern III called the Madling before the Andals arrived in the Reach. Mern showered golden honors to a woods witch who boasted she could raise an army of the dead to fight off the invaders. So I love, like, so there's like the 3 Sage Kings, which are coming up next, and then the like 3 weird ones are like, all right, let's stop the Andals. How? You know any green seers? All right, let's stop the Andals. How? A wall. All right, let's stop the Andals. How? I don't know. Let's see if this wood witch can get us some zombies. But
that's an interesting parallel, that he's looking for an army of the dead. It kind of invokes the others, which
absolutely
is very interesting.
Yeah, I definitely think there could be a premonition going on here.
Yeah, especially with
the Mad Lad. Sorry.
Especially with what's his name? I'm now blanking. With Wayne, the God's Fearing. I think he is especially interesting because he might have been a green seer. I'm going to throw it out there. He's probably a green seer.
I definitely think he's a green seer, and I think that he might have had a vision, and then he passed it on to the Merns, and then and I'm sure around one of these guys, they showed up in the Vale, So then it's like, hey, animals are gonna show up. Let's try to stop it. And then it's like, what are you talking about? Blah blah blah. And then it's like, the animals showed up. It's like, all right, well, let's put up walls.
Mhm.
Sorry, I was eating a Mounds bar. My bad, guys. All right, let's get into the actual Sage Kings. We're moving on. We're on slide 9 of 15, so we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. 3 Sage
I literally
Kings.
just watched
Part
that
one.
episode of Family Guy today where Peter makes fun of Joe for like 20 minutes for eating a Mounds bar.
I love Mounds bars. I like them because I was the only person in my family who liked them. So for like Halloween or whatever, I remember all almond joys, like all coconut things coming over to me because I'll eat anything.
Oh, so you had no competition, yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, I'm not going to fight my brother for a Twix when I just get all the almond joys I want, you know?
Yeah, you would have gotten all my almond joys. I was never a big fan.
I have the most open palate there isn't a food I don't like. Like, I eat everything. I actually thought the first time, I thought that people didn't order things not because they didn't like it, but because they were allergic, like 100%. Like, I remember when I worked at McDonald's and I'm like, how come all these guys are allergic to mustard? And it's like, because I didn't think of the idea that people just didn't eat food because they just eat it all. So it was like a weird, the only reason you don't want to eat this cheeseburger the way it's ordered is you have to be allergic, right?
I think that's what
people
they refer to as like the goat mentality or like the tiger shark mentality. You know, one's cooler than the other, but either one of them eat like mostly anything. You know, pretty much.
I have a couple license plates in my belly, if that's what you're getting at.
Yeah.
I should have had. I don't have it anymore. I used to have the.
Tacos in the parking lot of McDonald's, putting like mustard on the side of a Honda Civic, taking a bite, being like, "Why do people eat this? I don't understand why no one's telling down this delicious."
Why did this guy order his Honda Civic with no mustard?
Yeah, meanwhile, there's a guy next to him eating a Honda Civic with no mustard, looking over at Taco like friggin' weirdo.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Who puts mustard on a Civic?
What's mustard on a Civic, dude? You're ruining the flavor of the Civic, man. It's like
this is like how people from Chicago hate when you put ketchup on fucking hot dogs.
So ketchup on hot dogs. My wife puts ketchup on good steak.
What do they put ketchup on in? Sorry, what do they put on hot dogs in Chicago?
Coleslaw and I think mustard.
Okay.
I'll do a lot of cold slaw and mustard.
Now ketchup on a good steak, that is pretty horrifying.
Insane.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. My wife's weird. And I don't want to just put her on blast, but I'm gonna. I remember she would do that when we would do steaks on the grill or buying crappier, cheaper cuts. But I started making money and I started getting really into cooking. And the first time we bought these huge bone-in ribeyes, and I reverse seared them, so I cooked them at a really low temperature for a super long time, and I was checking the temp the whole time, and then I put them in a hot cast iron at the end and butter basted them to a perfect temp. And they were just so good. Oh no, it was 2 hours of this. And I gave her hers, I had mine, and she just went, I was like,
oh no.
I'm like, I want to divorce you.
Oh no.
It's 2 hours of perfecting the steak, and you're like, fuck it, burn. It hurt, dude. I had to think about
I'll do that to your grandmother's baked mac and cheese. I've got no shame.
Oh my god.
Yikes. Okay, Rust.
I would go for my grandmother's baked mac and cheese. That sounds great. Anyways, I got no shame. I'll put ketchup on your whole world.
I haven't had mac and cheese in so long, though.
Dude, I'll put ketchup on a Honda Civic. I don't give
Got him.
Got him. Get the callback, Jeff.
That was a good loop.
Yeah, I prefer off-brand cars. Chicago style. All right, let's do this. Mustard, tomato, cucumber, pickle, relish, sport peppers, celery, salt, and sesame seed bun. I'd eat that. Seattle dogs.
That sounds really good. Yeah.
Seattle dogs. I'm sure there's a bunch of different kinds, but the one that I would get when I lived in Seattle, it was long, always long, but then they would cut them in half and cook them like that, right? So it wouldn't roll. They would cook it on a grill. So it'd always be split down the middle and cooked in the middle too. But it was cream cheese and caramelized onions, and then whatever you wanted with that. So I would do cream cheese, caramelized onions, mustard, and jalapenos. But I don't think everybody did it that way. But always cream cheese and caramelized onions was like what you're getting when you're walking up to any hot dog vendor in downtown Seattle. And then it's like, what do you want off that? Like, what do you want to do to this after this? And I'll tell you right now, cream cheese on a hot dog, yes. It's
I've tried the Seattle dog. It's extremely good.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. And then I would highly recommend caramelized onions and then literally anything else you want. But the mixture of the hot dog with the cream cheese and the onions makes it.
That sounds really good. I got to this jalapeno cream cheese hot dog thing. The way I do hot dogs is diced bacon chunks and then diced raw purple onion, and then you melt cheddar cheese on top of the hot dog, and then you spread everything on top of it. And that's a pretty good dog. I love the sound of what you're describing. That sounds delicious. So.
Check it out, man. Check it out. And then of course I like a good old fashioned Coney chili cheese dog too.
Yeah.
It is as gross as it gets. If both of them are squirt on them, perfect. If that chili comes out of a tube, let's go.
That's how you know you get the good stuff.
Yeah, dude. If your 7-Eleven has chili, you got to put on it with a spoon. Get out of there. It's got to be in a. That's how you should get your chili. Right.
The trashier, the better.
Chili. Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%. When you live off of like 7-Eleven food and you're just getting the huge hot dogs and then like the crappy chili and cheese. Oh yeah. I've lived that. I wonder why I poop so bad now. That's why.
Mysterious.
Yeah, I love this hot dog talk. Yeah.
We got to have a whole episode about just like ice and fire cooking, and then we can just talk about.
I own the cookbook.
We're not. So do I. But we're not allowed because the two biggest Song of Ice and Fire YouTubers own food descriptions. Like I couldn't make a food description video without somebody going, "Oh, you're just copying Ultra X and Gladys."
Oh gosh.
They did their
Ultra X and Gladys. The only people who've ever cooked food before. I don't believe. I literally just grilled a salmon last night. Like
no. Gladys came over and cooked it. Don't be lying.
Don't be lying.
We all know what happened.
They had George over and cooked for him. Remember?
According to the video, but you don't see George in the video.
I mean, he was shy.
I know, but I don't know if I believe that video. He's like, I'm going to cook food for George. And then he does the whole thing. And he's like, that's the end of the video. I'm like, did he actually have George over? I guess, I don't know.
I know he met George.
Yeah, I know they met him. But, yeah. Anyways.
He probably just cooked it and then mailed it to him.
Probably.
Which is still technically cooking for George.
Yeah, well, I cook for George all the time. He just never shows up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I open this for him.
Wait, George doesn't show up?
Man.
He stands you up.
That guy would clean my pantry out.
I feel bad now. I feel bad now. He doesn't stand me up.
Really?
Because he lives closer to where I'm at. I guess.
He doesn't stand you up. Did you get that book of his yet?
Oh no,
we've been stood up for a while, man.
It's the book's never coming. I'm talking about for dinner. He doesn't stand me up for dinner.
I mean, Glydas is gonna have Winds of Winter for dinner. He said so.
Yeah, that's true. He's gonna eat the whole thing.
That's only if the book comes out, though, right?
Yeah. He can't eat it if it doesn't.
I still am trying to hold faith on the Winds of Winter coming out. So hopefully he will have to chow down. I think
I will watch that
compromise. Like, it's worth waiting. If the compromise you got to eat the book, then so be it.
It's such a thing I don't even think about. Like, because I hear it all the time. I even got a comment like yesterday where somebody's like, whatever, some name I didn't even know. This is gonna come out before Winds, and I'm like, yeah.
It probably will, but the question is, will George die before Winds? I don't think so. I think Winds will come out before George dies. I just think it's
such I've already had this much love out of it, and we can talk about it this much that like if it happens, that's amazing. But it's not going to prevent me from enjoying it now. Like the fact that Winds isn't out isn't going to prevent me from making these videos or looking through the lore or getting as much enjoyment as I'm getting. Like, if I ever step away from this channel, it's going to have nothing to do with the fact Winds hasn't came out. Like it just, that doesn't affect me like the way that it seems to affect other people. And also that person, sorry, go ahead.
No, you continue, and then I have a joke.
No, I was going to say that guy in the same comment made fun of how I said cohort because I was adding an R. said Korhor. And then it's like, oh, you're adding an R and I don't know why. And I was like, I have a speech impediment. That's why. I noticed it too.
Yeah. No, what I was going to say is, well, I am very confident that we'll get Winds of Winter before GTA 6. So.
Well, yeah, but GTA 6 has a date. Doesn't it? That's a
It's
trailer.
an internet
when is
joke.
GTA 6 supposed to come out?
I know,
but I thought
like,
GTA 6 already was out. I'm like, wait,
no, it's on its way now. We actually got like real trailers.
It's a thing of the future, huh?
Yeah,
Mhm.
no, I got that hopium too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I just
That's good because I still haven't played GTA 5 yet. I only beat GTA 4 last year.
Jesus, get on it. All right.
You truly are an old man.
I know, right? Yeah, I'm behind the times.
Am I the oldest guy here? No, I think we're all about the same age, right?
No, and also I'm not that old. I'm playing Baldur's Gate 3, so that shaves some years off myself.
I'm
right?
in my early 30s.
Yeah, mid still is 36 still mid 30s.
Yeah. I'm
Yes.
direct mid. I'm 35, so I'm exactly mid.
And Rust is the best looking 51-year-old you know, or the worst looking 23-year-old. He's one of them.
One or the
Well,
other.
what do you
nothing in
know?
between.
I'm 37. So
There you go. Yeah, perfect. See, I knew we were all about the same.
Yeah, we're all in our
isn't
30s.
Isn't it the Toms and the Zacks who are young? I think. I know there's some people.
Yeah. Zach is still
Nah.
shockingly young, and I think Tom is still shockingly young. You know.
Yeah. And anyways, I was gonna say something.
They
else.
are all but children in a room of
but-
old men talking
Oh,
about a
that's
book
children.
series written by an even older man.
Yeah.
True.
I was gonna say, I normally play Baldur's Gate after this, but after I like to help me stay up. Me and a couple other guys from the shift play Baldur's Gate together because we're all switching our sleep schedule for work, and we have a game that are all gnomes. So I do nothing but gnome puns. So at work, I'll just be like gnome saying. It's like, hey man, it's a yes or no question. Like we just make gnome jokes.
That's hilarious.
I thought so, and I named my gnome paladin Danzig.
Yeah,
Danzig is short, so he's Danzig Hard Dimple because Hard Nipple they wouldn't let. So I want to be Dimple Nipple, but it wouldn't let me, so I'm just Hard Dimple. But yeah, that's. But I'm not doing that tonight because. Even though it came out in April, I finally said, screw it, and I'm going to play the Oblivion remake. I finally feel like I have enough of my house done that I don't have to, because I didn't want to play Oblivion or any other Elder Scrolls because I know how much time it would take because I just, have too much stuff to do. But I'm kind of running out of stuff to do, and I really want to play it. So I downloaded it today, and I'm going to make my character when I'm done with the live stream.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, Tormund, if you got nothing going on and you want to talk Oblivion after this, let me know.
Yeah, sure.
I never made it out of the first little bit of Oblivion, so maybe
Can't relate.
Yeah.
You'll have to talk me into playing it because I honestly I can't relate myself. It had Patrick Stewart in the intro. I'm like, how did I not get into this game?
Oblivion's the one I played the least because I only played it for 6 or 7 years. Morrowind I'm still playing. In Skyrim, I played heavily for 10 years straight and into the 10 years.
Yeah.
And then finally I just didn't buy Skyrim.
The games I've played like that, no one's ever heard of. You guys ever heard of Close Combat 3 of the Russian front?
No.
Oh yeah, I've probably put 20,000 hours or something into that game. I played that game since I was a little kid. My uncle and I played for 48 hours straight one time. We didn't sleep. It was crazy. We just warred.
Wow. I needed a break from fighting games because I feel like fighting games just doesn't help my mental health because they're so hard.
Oh yeah.
And it's all I play. And I've been buying old Capcom collections.
Oh,
so
Jesus.
I'm playing the second rival schools, and I'm losing to the easiest difficulty of computer. And I'm
you have a gaming channel, Tucker? I'm surprised you don't do game stuff.
If somebody made it really easy for me to live stream a game, because I don't play PC, I don't really know anything about that crap. I've never live streamed a video game.
On Xbox?
I know PlayStation.
Can't you just
probably
install Twitch? and stream straight from
Wait,
your
is that what you
PlayStation.
play on? You play on the console. You don't play on the computer.
Yeah, I play on the console.
Oh,
Well,
you'd be
I
like-
only,
yeah.
but I only film via like StreamYard, so it's like I've never filmed anything else. Like I literally film all my videos.
I didn't even know you. I guess you. Yeah, I didn't even know you get Baldur's Gate in the console. That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah, I played on.
Yeah,
the
I don't know anything.
Do you want to join? Do you want to gnome with us? Gnome
I
saying?
mean, I would love to gnome with you. So the first character I made in Baldur's Gate was actually a copy of my character from Arcanum, who was a gnome.
Yeah, nerd.
I'm just saying, I got a little gnome in me.
A little, yeah, gnome saying, yeah.
Know what I'm saying? Yeah, know what I'm saying?
gnome saying. Stay gnome to drugs. That's what I say. All right.
I probably don't stay
like
as
20
late
minutes.
as you, but if you guys,
All
are
right,
maybe
yeah.
like in
Let's
the midday, let me
let's
know,
move
yeah.
on. Let's get Polly Walnuts to help.
Fuck you doing?
I love that one. I love that.
No gnoming in the neighborhood.
The fuck these gnomes doing here?
I was
Yeah.
fucked up.
Fucked up?
Got the 5 families, and then we got this gnome thing over in
You
New
got this little
Jersey.
gnome thing in Jersey.
For real.
Oh, okay, only 2 people are laughing, but they're laughing really hard at that one. If you get that, you get that.
Yeah.
Got the 5 families, and then we got this little gnome thing. All right, Merle. Merle had to die, huh? Or are we on Garth the Ninth? We're on Garth the Ninth. Yeah, we're just starting the Sage Kings. Along with his son Merle and grandson Gawain V, he is remembered as one of the 3 Sage Kings. So let's get this going. Who dealt with the coming of the Andals and the Reach with a policy of accord and assimilation rather than armed resistance. Garth the Ninth brought a septum to court and made him part of his councils. The first sept at Highgarden was built during Garth's reign. Although he continued to worship the old gods in the Godswood of Highgarden, Garth took Andals into his service as household knights and retainers, and he bequeathed lands and wives and lordships for the more powerful of the Andal kings and other Andal adventurers descending upon the Reach in exchange for pledges of fealty. Like his son and grandson will do later, Garth sought after Andal craftsmanship, especially blacksmiths and stonemasons, to settle throughout the Reach, supplying them with his banner, or supplying him with his banner with iron instead of bronze, and strengthening their castles and holdfasts with Andal masonry. Sorry, my reading's starting to get worse, and it's already pretty bad. So that last bit. Like on the wiki, it says that last bit for every single one of them. So just keep in mind the idea of soughting after Andal craftsmanship and getting Andal crafts in how good they were at iron making throughout the entire Reach was something that all 3 of the Sage Kings did. I just only wrote it for the first one because I didn't want to repeat the same thing over and over again. But yeah, that's the first Sage King. So. Got anything, or should I keep going?
I mean, not really. I'm just gonna say here that it's like this. It's if you can't beat them, join them. I think there's even like a quote that I think I once saw that Garth the Nine is remembered for. Something like if you drive off a wolf, they're gonna you're just killing a wolf because and others will come. But if you tame them, you get a dog that is loyal and helping you, essentially.
You're completely right on that one. I bet I can get to it. When a wolf descends on your flocks, all you gain by killing him is a short respite for the other wolves will come. If you instead feed the wolf and tame him and turn his pups into your guards, they will protect the flock when the pack comes ravening. Sorry. Isn't it weird that like I can barely read and decided that would be my hobby? Like I'm gonna read in front of people.
Happens. You can't come on.
You can pick your hobby. I don't know. You can't pick your passion. You can pick your hobby. But yeah. Okay, so that was the first one, and then we got Merle. Merle the First, called Merle the Meek. Merle converted to the faith of the Seven and helped fund the construction of sept trees and mother houses all over the Reach. Merle, as well as the other Andals, Merle also took an Andal maiden. There you go. Myrtle also took an Andal maiden as his wife as means of binding the bride's father to the realm, as well as other Andals into his service as knights and retainers, and bequeathed lands and wives and lordships for more powerful of the Andal kings and other Andal adventurers, depending on the reach. Yeah, that's the same thing as I said before. So that's like I said, and I'm going to say it with the last of the Sage Kings, which I believe is a Gawain. I have the list of all of the houses that got brought in by the 3 Sage Kings. So it's not just the third one that did it. But yeah, I just didn't want to say you don't know who brought into which house, so I didn't want to say the list broken up. But yeah. You guys got anything for Merle, or should I finish off the Sage Kings?
No, finish. I don't think I have
Let's
much.
wrap it up with this last
Gawain the Fifth, whereas his father converted to the Faith of the Seven, Gawain was the first Gardener to be born into the Faith of the Seven, as well as the first to be made a knight. Like his father, he took an Andal maiden as his wife, a means of binding the bride's father into the realm. He also took Andals into his service as retainers and household knights. Among them is Sir Alistair Tyrell, whose prowess at arms was such that he was made the king's champion and sworn shield. Gawain bequeathed lands and wives and lordships are more powerful. The Andal kings, I already same thing as last time. Another Andal adventurers descending on the reach in exchange for pledge of fealty. Families formed by the intermarriage of the first men and Andal nobles include House Coy, Graceford, Laygood, Orm, Roxton, Ufring, and Varner. As well as the centuries passed and the noble houses of first men and Andals intermarried so freely that it became impossible to tell them apart. Though some of the new made Andal lords broke their vows in later years, most remained loyal. The loyal Andals helped their Gardener kings and liege lords put down rebels and also defend the reach from later generations of invading Andals. Maester Yandel writes, seldom had a conquest been achieved with less bloodshed. So, yeah. I like to look at the 3 ways that the Andals were handled, right? I mean, there's more than that, but like the 3 biggest ways is like this one, like letting it be this soft, slow invasion and the marrying and very little war and bloodshed. And then
assimilate them.
Huh?
Assimilate them into your society.
Yeah, assimilating. Right, like screw it, man. Let them come in. Maybe maybe their 7 faiths god seems pretty cool, right? Or then there's like the battle of the 7 stars or whatever it is in the Vale, where everybody chooses a side and there's a gigantic bloodbath, right? Or you do the Theon the hungry wolf thing, and then kill all the ones that land here, and then go back to Andalos and murder people over there. So who did it better? Who knows? I would take the Reach one because less bloodshed. I'm just too much of a I'm too much of a wuss like that. I don't like war and I don't like murder, and I don't really care about any justifications of such. I would rather just all right, we'll just bring him in and just everybody married and, we'll make new houses. Screw it. And I would say the Reach became a stronger and better kingdom because they did it this way, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that's definitely true. Rather than depleting everybody and ruining all their resources through horrific war. And it's like, even if you argued that Theon defeats the Andals as a threat and then goes off and stops them from doing a second wave of attack or whatever by fucking them up over there,
maybe
that's still got to cost so many people, and so it sets them back considerably by comparison to where the Reach is just consistently on the up.
Yeah,
it's a better policy. It's a better policy because it spares your best people and it brings in all the best people from abroad. When it comes to the end, because they're fleeing something, but it's like they're not all unskilled. And it's there, and these even if they're just lowly peasants, they can farm the land and you get more fucking taxes and stuff.
I'm gonna do an impression of everybody in the chat who hates it when I talk shit about Theon the Hungry Wolf.
No offense, but it sounds like some fucking commie gobbledygook.
That's how I get treated whenever I'm like, dude, Theon was a piece of crap, and they're all like, whoa.
That's just the North booze.
Yeah,
the north of booze.
no, they're just because my take on it is
no. What it is it's people that they're the Knights of Summer. They think that battle would be super bitchin', and then they're being marched to death in Stannis' winter column, and they're like, "Please, mommy, take me back home so I can suckle the tit."
No shit. I mean, why do you think all of them become broken men? Like, and they don't choose it. I don't know. I don't need to get into war
or you just freeze to death or something. That's what I'm saying. It's no fun. It's not a good time, and and all the more wizened people understand that.
Well, what are we supposed to do?
But if you're king, if you are actually King Theon, you're not going to freeze to death. You're just going to get hella glory.
No, you're just going to say, "Hey guys, go over there and get me enough heads that I can line the entire coastline with it."
Yeah, but if you're supporting the king, oh Lord, man, you're marching in that snow. That's not fun.
Yeah, dude, you got to watch out. Elden Ring will kill your mental health. We have confirmed ancient life on Mars before GTA 6. Well, depending on who you ask. But yeah.
That's actually quite funny. I was like, I saw an article about the Mars rover thing earlier today. I was like,
that's so good.
It's arguably true. We're headed that direction, right?
Did I read this whole thing? Yeah, no, we did.
Yes.
Yeah, we did the whole freaking. We did the whole 3 Sage Kings, man. Boom! Wow. Look at us go. We're moving.
Booyah.
We're cooking with grease. Yeah.
So we're getting souvlaki, or
yeah. Let's play a clip to celebrate. Let's go with here we go.
Cottage cheese, chest ass motherfucker.
I just love playing that one. I also have 3 clips from the same movie, all saying the exact same line, but from 3 different parts of the movie. So whenever we want to play those,
play them all in a row. No, I'm just kidding.
We'll see if it comes up again. It already came up once, but I don't want to overload us. So apex of its power. Let's get through Garland the Sixth really quick. Garland the Sixth, during his minority, a member of his House Tyrell, ruled the Reach in his name as a regent. Huh. So there we go. The first Tyrell king. Yeah. Kind of, maybe not really.
Kind of like what's the guy who sits on the throne of Gondor?
The steward.
Yeah, the steward of Gondor. What was his name though?
The Denethor.
Denethor, the tomato guy. No,
the tomato guy.
Yeah, I remember
he eats very messily in the Lord of the
Rings.
Rings.
Really messy. Yeah,
mouths that tomato. Yeah,
totally dribbles it down his face. That was a great scene. Yeah. It's some phenomenal tomato eating acting.
Is that a thing though? Is eating messily or eating things by hand is like makes you an asshole? Like villains eat apples. You know, like you know what I'm saying. Like if there's ever a bad guy who just like, you know what. It's like, oh man, that guy's evil.
To be fair, eating an apple is a very specific type of villain, though. Like it's, Brandon, the sports movie villain, that is like the jock that was antagonizing the protagonist.
And then there's like kind of like gray. There's kind of like gray area people, or like semi-villains, like the Hound who eat chicken. You know.
Or what about? Here's a good poll. The bad guy played by the great Christopher Lloyd in Dennis the Menace, who eats an apple with a knife, right? No,
yeah.
I remember seeing that for the first time when I was a kid, and I was like, he's using a knife to eat an apple, and after that, that's how I like ate apples for like the rest, like just shave off like a nice chip size piece and just eat them like that. I don't know. Maybe I also had bad teeth for a super long time, so I didn't like chomping into it because it messed my bad teeth up. Now I got a lot nicer teeth. Thank you for noticing, guys. I spent a lot of money on them. A lot of money. Thank you. You're not so bad yourself. I've never seen you before. I have no idea what you look like. And now I don't want to, because I have a vision in my head. Plus, I've been flirting with you this long. I'm gonna find out you're either too ugly and I shouldn't have been flirting with you, or you're really hot and
I'm flattered, but I'm married.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Me too.
It's fine.
Are you into married dudes? All right, moving on. Where are we at? We're
So speaking of moving on,
Oh.
Taka, I'm sorry. I myself have to move on now at this point, so I'll have to leave before we get into this next Gardener King.
What? We didn't even finish the we didn't even make it to the 11th.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna have to bounce as well.
Oh, all right. Now,
You're gonna have to
Sorry.
tackle this. You and Tormund are gonna have to have. Depending on how late you're on, I might be able to come back and swing back.
we're probably doing another hour. I aim for 3 hours.
I'll probably be busy for a little bit over that time.
Okay. Well, thanks both of you guys for showing up. Me and Tormund can
Thanks for
handle
having
this.
me.
Yeah,
I wasn't planning on
worries,
leaving
and
this
I
early,
will,
but I'm kind of fading here, so.
It's all good, man.
I will
Thanks for showing up.
I will likely see you guys on the next stream. But yeah, thanks for the chat for showing up and everybody. And
Yeah.
have
a good one.
Good time. I'll
Have a good one, you
see
guys.
everyone later. Yeah, have a good one, Tormund. It was good to see you as always.
Good to see
See
you.
you, Rust.
So yeah.
Yeah, take it easy.
Bye-bye.
Oh man! Right after I started flirting with you, they left.
They got uncomfortable.
all right, I'll get through this. Yeah, they probably got uncomfortable. I couldn't think of the two people who would not get uncomfortable more than those two. Like, you would have to be pretty freaking raunchy for those guys to flirt.
Yeah.
Like Russ, you would have to do some pretty questionable stuff for him to not subscribe.
True.
to look away. All right, where are we on? We're on Giles the Third.
Yes.
So Giles the Third, Gardener. This is going to be a long one. I'm gonna more, as you can tell. While the Reach enjoyed an unprecedented prosperity called the Golden Reign under King Garth the Seventh Gardener, Golden Hand, it was during the reign of Giles the Third that Highgarden reached its apex in power, leading a glittering. Let's go, glittering. Yeah, glittering host. They have glitter on them, like they're full of glitter.
Yes.
All right, cool. I'm glad I asked. Leading a glittery host of armored knights, Giles went to war with the Age Storm King in the east and smashed the armies of the Stormlander and conquered all the lands north of the Rainwood. Holy crap! Save for Storm's End, which he besieged for 2 years. While he was away with his army in the east, the Reach was attacked by the King of the Rock, Lancel the Fourth Lannister, forcing Giles the Third to lift his siege of Storm's End and hurry home to deal with the Westermen. House Osgray were the marshals of the North March at the time, and Sir Gilbert Osgray called up the reserve levies and marched to stop King Lancel. During the battle between the two forces, Sir Gilbert met with the King of the Rock and was able to slay him at the cost of his own life, stopping the attack in its tracks. The Westerland army collapsed, and when the Reach was saved. Maester Yandel writes that had Lancel not invaded the Reach, Giles III might have been able to complete his conquest of the Stormlands, which is nuts. New border war followed, involving 3 Dornish kings and 2 from the Riverlands, and ended with Giles III dead of the bloody flux, and the borders between the realms restored to more or less what they were before the hostilities began. So he stretched it a bunch, and then it slowly shrunk.
Yeah, it just sounds like as much as the Reach was this extremely powerful kingdom under Giles, the problem was that he was always dealing with new enemies, and he wasn't able to focus on one particular enemy in order to completely put them down.
It reminds me so much of Edward the Conqueror, right? No, William the Conqueror of would William the Conqueror been able to do that if won the Battle of Hastings if it wasn't for them fighting the Battle of Stamford Bridge? If the king he was fighting against wasn't jumping back and forth from the north of England to the south, would one of them won? And that's what it makes me think of. So, and it's kind of what they said, if the Kingdom of the Rock didn't invade, this dude might have just completely wiped out and took the Stormlands. That would have been nuts. He would have stretched. Then at that point, you would think that if anyone in the Reach, or any kingdom for that matter, have stretched from the Sunset Sea to the Narrow Sea, how long until they have all of Westeros? 2 more generations?
Yeah.
Like, once you get that big, you can't really be stopped. Like, you would think. Like, once you get half of the kingdom or half of the continent, like, you could maybe not Dorne, but you could definitely, like, pick off the petty kings of the Stormlands and the Riverlands, and then the rocks right there. What are they going to do? And then you could just literally just move up, and then, maybe they wouldn't have been able to take the north because it's really hard to invade the north from the south, but
or the Vale.
Yeah, or the Vale. I think you would have to marry both, or you could attack the Vale via boats. Like, you can invade the Vale. Yeah, you can invade the Vale.
You could invade the Vale via boats, but then besides the Andals, why didn't anybody do it?
I think the North tried back to Theon.
True.
Theon did. He took
war across the water.
Yep, the war across the water, and not just the sisters, but he took some of the fingers. And another reason why I'm not a big Theon guy is it's like, yeah, but he stopped the Andals, and it's like he also started like 3 other wars for no reason. Like, his first half of his reign is like he fought off the Ironborn, and then fought off the Andals, and then it was like, then he invaded the Vale, and that's when I'm like, cool, screw you. Like, I'm done as soon as you start invading other places, But yeah. Anyways, it would have been crazy if Giles III made it. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, this is genuinely like this an interesting tidbit of history where there's like a what if that George built.
They're just vassals of the Reach. They're there. The High Towers.
They exist.
Yeah, they once they got whatever king we covered who took the Andals in or took the High Towers in. We don't hear about the High Towers anymore because they're just vassals now, right? So yeah, I'm assuming they were part of the army. Which king did it? How long ago was it? Giles sacked it. Yeah, I went to the first ones. Giles sacked it. And then
it was on that for the other slide. It was, Garland, the bridegroom.
Oh, the next 2 down. Yeah, and then Garland, the bridegroom. Yep, married his way into it. So literally way back then, this is my first slide after Garth the Gardener. So this is like the first king.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then we have not heard Hightower since then, unless the Ironborn are attacking it. That's the only time it's important at this point. Where were we? We finished this one. Yeah, we just finished Giles. So we got Garth the Greybeard is our next one. So this is that example of another king who reigned forever but became lame sucked at the end because he got old. And this one gets a little rough. So
it does.
You already know? You know about Garth Greybeard?
I know the gist of it. I'm not sure I recall everything off the top of my head.
Well, that's why I got these slides here. Whoa. Garth the 10th, called Garth Greybeard. Garth came into crown at age of 7. Wow, it's a little early. And died at 96. Reigning longer than the forebear of Garth the 7th, so he reigned longer. Though vigorous in his youth, Garth the 10th was neither wise nor clever. He was vain and frivolous. He surrounded himself with fools and flatterers and lost his wits entirely in his own age. During the long reign of his senility,
yeah,
senility. Yeah, I know it's like
it's senile, but it's senility, I think.
Yeah, senility. Yeah. He became a tool of first one faction and then another, and those around him vied for wealth and power. Garth sired no sons and only daughters, one of whom married Lord Vanderlei, here we go, and another who married Lord Peake, and each lord was determined that his wife should succeed Garth Greybeard. The rivalry between them was marked by betrayal, conspiracy, and murder, and finally escalating to open war with the other lords joining the cause of both sides. So I knew they were going to come up again, these frickin' Manderleys and Peakes. with the kingdom of the Reach in chaos and the king too feeble to grasp what was occurring, the Storm King and the King of the Rocks seized the opportunity and took large swaths of territory, whilst Dornish raids grew bolder and more frequent. One Dornish king besieged Old Town. Hey, you're wondering what was going on with House Hightower? This is what's up. Whilst another crossed the Mander and sacked Highgarden. The Oaken Seat was chopped to pieces and burned. So that's the end of the Oaken Seat. Whilst the senile King Garth was found tied to his bed, whimpering and covered in his own filth, the Dornish cut his throat, then put Highgarden to the torch after stripping it of all of its wealth. Wow.
It's kind of the other coin in the parallels that George draws to Louis XIV, but in everything went wrong.
Yeah. Like, this is like, oh, wow, he ruled for 90 years. Yeah, but this is the bad kind.
Yeah. At the end, he wasn't even in charge. He was just strapped to a bed, a figurehead for others to fight around.
Yeah.
It's like, it's very, very tragic.
It's super tragic.
And once again, Mandalorian Peak causing trouble and literally starting, like, I think it's like 10 years of civil war, if memory serves.
Well, yeah, once we get to the next king, you could see how long it took to even, like, get back on its feet. So just think, like, we love to bring up, like, how great the Reach is. Like, we've been saying it this whole time of, like, if you want to live in a kingdom, this might be the one. Definitely not during this time, because this is, like, full-on collapse, and it isn't for a while. Like, I bet it was just like, this is how the Riverlands always is.
Yeah, it's when the Reach turned into the Riverlands. No, you're completely right. Like, you're joking, but yeah.
No, it's pretty close. The Reach did this all the time.
But one of the most...
What's the score? I didn't watch any of it. I've been doing this. And also, if you want to link, let me know.
I think it's been 27 to 18, last I checked. That's the final score.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, and if, Michael, if you want to jump in, I'll send you a link. But yeah, it's crazy just how absolutely awful that arena went. Sorry, go ahead.
And one of the most important things about that, like, is the Oaken Seat is gone. And the Oaken Seat was like this huge big deal and is probably like tied to like the whole shebang, because the Oaken Seat's lore is that it was carved out of a living oak, so it was like a living tree.
It's a living throne, right? Like, they say it's the living seat, and
it was planted by Garth Greenhand.
Yeah, and
it was planted by the Greenhand. Like that's like a big symbol of legitimacy and also maybe magic.
Yeah, almost a completely magic. Like I know it's not a weirwood, but are we sure it's not a weirwood? According to who, it's not a weirwood. This was hundreds of years ago. Like, maybe it was just called
an oak in a... Yeah. Sorry, no, you continue. I was overeager.
No, I was just saying, like, you know, do we really know if it wasn't a weirwood? Like, it could have just been called the Oaken Seat, but yeah, no, I was done with what I was saying.
No, but like, even if it wasn't made out of weirwood, and keep in mind there's already weirwood associations with Highgarden, Three Singers, all that.
Absolutely.
But even so, like, in our world, oak is considered to be one of the most magical, like, trees with the most magically infused power.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's also mentioned in A Song of Ice and Fire, like, offhandedly, like, that oak has some power.
Well, and isn't a big oak tree the god, like the center of the god's wood in like houses that don't have weirwoods? Like, isn't it a mighty oak tree at the center of the Red Keep's godwood? Or am I making that up?
I think it is an oak, but I'm not I'm not sure if it's an oak or an elder. I'm not entirely sure. I can look it up.
Yeah, I got it too. I'm right here. I'm going to Red Keep. That's the route I'm taking. I didn't know if you were going
the same thing.
All right.
It's an oak. You are completely right. It's a great oak with limbs overgrown with smokeberry vines. What a smokeberry is, we don't know.
There might be, and that said is an oak. Thanks, Jeremy Hall. And Oaken Seat. Cindy Not Cindy. What's up, yeah? And also, hi. Yeah, hi. I was saying hello to you as you were typing it. You missed a lot, but no, we're getting there. We made it all the way past this, the Three Sage Kings. We're talking about, what's it, Giles the 10th?
Garth the 10th.
Garth the Graybeard, ruined everything by living too long. I do feel really bad for him. Like the only thing this guy did wrong was he didn't die at 40. You know, like it sucks that he got all feeble. But it even says that he wasn't a strong king to begin with. So definitely the flip side of the coin of like the longest reign, and it's like afterwards, you know, Garth Goldenhand brings in this huge prosperity, and they were the apex of their power, and there was no war for like 80 years or whatever that, or 60 years or whatever the hell. 75, thank you. And then it's like, oh, what about Garth Graybeard? Didn't he live? Yeah, no, it was war like pretty much the entire second half of it. And he did not keep his wits. And yeah, it's like the parallels is bad. Yeah. All right. We're getting our tinfoil tree hive mind talking here. No, it's cool.
Sydney said that like mushrooms connect all the trees, and
absolutely. I definitely think, especially in a fantasy world like this, that not only is there a hive mind for a lot of the weirwoods, and I know I'm not speaking anything too crazy here, but I think that they can kind of in a way affect the entire forest. Like I do think the children of the forest have power over all the trees, but I don't know. Maybe there's definitely something going on with oaks and other like sentinel trees being not only named sentinel trees, but also a lot of times they're lined up like a wall, like protecting. Like I feel like the forest definitely has once had a mind of its own, and not just weirwoods. But like whenever there's a big weirwood that takes over an area, all of a sudden the forest takes back a king, like a castle or something like that. Like it does seem like then the forest gets weaponized and slowly, you know, moves its troops forward and takes land back, like at the Whispers. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just a hippie.
No, I completely agree. Like we're with Ned all the way.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get the Reach back in order, shall we? So Mern the I said the 11th. I thought this was Mern the 11th, but of course Mern the 9th is the last one. So it's Garth the 11th, and I screwed up naming it Mern the 11th. Oops.
You could just say that they came at the 11th hour. Like
there you go.
Mern the 6th.
Yeah, absolutely. Mern the 6th, almost a decade of anarchy followed until Osmond Tyrell, the High Steward, made common cause with the other lords of the Reach and defeated both the Peaks and the Manderleys. I love that. Like, no, we gotta kill both of them, guys. And reclaimed the ruined seat of the Gardeners and placed a second cousin of the late and unmourned Garth Graybeard onto its new throne. I love that he's like the words unmourned here, because at that point no one cared about his death. Like he was not even a figurehead anymore. It's like he died. All right, cool. Like he had no importance. It's like so different compared to any other king, you know. Like there was no procession. No, there was no, you know, no one gave a shit. He died probably 30 years ago to most of these people. So all right, so he ascended as Mern the 6th Gardener. Although a man of modest gifts, Mern ruled well, rebuilding Highgarden and doing much and more to restore the power of the Reach in House Gardener, relying on his council of his stewards, Sir Osmond, and later Osmond's son Robert Tyrell, and finally Robert's son Laurent Tyrell. King Mern was so pleased with them that he gave Robert the hand of his youngest daughter in marriage, thereby allowing following generations of Tyrells to claim descent from Garth Greenhand. Sure. Tentatively, sure. Mern the 6th was succeeded by his son Garth the 11th, which we're about to cover. Do you got
Yeah.
anything on Mern the modest gifts? Mern of modest gifts.
Mern is like very much like it may like this is I don't know, like a very logical conclusion. You have two embittered houses that head two factions of this anarchic civil war that tears the Reach apart. And ultimately, neither of them comes to power because they would never make peace with one another. So it wouldn't come to an end. So
no
they're
one's
gone.
surrendering. Yeah.
So this is, I think, where the Tyrells started kind of have more and more influence over the house. Like, sure, they were the stewards and they always had a bit of influence over the gardeners, but I think here is where the Tyrells kind of start to grow stronger, pun intended.
Absolutely. Growing strong. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Also, huge parallel to Aegon the... Oh, he left me. Hopefully he'll come back. I hope he comes back. I'll talk without him. Huge parallel to Aegon the Third. There he is. You left me.
Oh no, I clicked the button by mistake. My bad.
It's all good. It's all good. Huge parallel from Mern to Aegon the Third is right after the dance in this huge civil war that killing everybody, and it, like the heads of spoilers, like, but pretty much the people in charge of both sides are gone at the end of it, right? And then you have a guy with powerful regents, right? And he's fine. No one's gonna ever put Aegon the Third as like one of the greatest kings, but he wasn't a bad king. You know, like he brought the realm back together, like he did. Is it just because he had the right people behind him? Absolutely. And that's exactly what they say here is like he had really good regents and really good help, just like how Aegon the Third had his brother in later years, and then just like, all right, one really shitty regent, but mostly some pretty good regents and some pretty good hands. I would say Tywin Lannister is a pretty good hand of the king for him.
Tywin was pretty good. Tormund was decent for the time he was there. Thaddeus Rowan tried his best. He wasn't necessarily the best, but he wasn't doing like a bad job.
Not as bad as that frickin' Peak.
Unwin Peak.
Yeah,
his name is literally Unwin, so you know.
and talk about the peaks, the peaks of the Manderleys, and then there were peaks and oh my god, and there were peaks and Manderleys who were regent for Aegon the Third.
Yes.
Bah.
Here we go. The parallels.
That's fucking nuts. I didn't even make that connection until just now.
It's like poetry. It rhymes.
And then, it's like poetry. It rhymes. Yeah. Thanks, George. Thanks, other George.
Yeah. Thanks, other George.
Yeah. That's so funny. I didn't even think. And the Peaks and the Manderleys were part of that one, but they came in later. See, that's it. You don't let the Peaks and Manderleys start the fight. You let them come in afterward. That's how you fix it. But yeah, no, there's so many parallels. And then like, and whoa, I was way past that. Yeah. But then I do think, Aegon the Third definitely gets a bad rep because he's not remembered as being a strong king. But think about the realm that he took over and the realm that he left. Way like night and day. Like
and he was one of the more long ruling Targaryen kings as well. Aegon the Third ruled for like 20 years.
Yeah. It was something like that because his eldest son was like 16 or 14.
14. Daeron was 14.
Daeron was 14, but he became king when he was like 7 or 8 or some shit.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah, he ruled for a while. Well, why are we speculating?
We know
I got the world right.
Died at 36 of tuberculosis.
So close.
They call it consumption, but consumption is old-timey for tuberculosis.
Tuberculosis. That was one of my how did Aegon the Third die was one of my quizzes like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I know. I remember that one.
And you want me to should I look really quick to see how good everybody did? I'm curious. No one sees the results, but like they're really like not a lot of people can answer these. And whenever I make it a little easier for people just give me crap and they're like, no, make it hard again. And I'm like, all right. But it's very often like 20% of people get it right. Dance of Dragons. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say while you look for that, Mern IX does have very interesting parallels with Aegon the Third. Not necessarily a bad. He wasn't personally necessarily this very capable person, but he had good advisors to surround him with, and guide him into being a good king overall, or at least a stabilizing force.
No, actually, people did this one pretty good. So it was, how did Aegon the Third die? 6% said eaten by a dragon. 13% said poisoned. 23% said burst belly. You see, I'm pulling the Baelor card, trying to trying to get people. Tuberculosis 58. They did actually really good. So 58% on that one, and that's actually really high compared to a lot. And same with the one from today, the what does Skagos mean? 59 knew it was stone, which, I really like my quizzes. It's something to do.
They are very fun. I kind of look forward to when they appear in my feed.
That's awesome. I'm glad you do. I don't get I get feedback. I feel like a lot of the people who like them don't know about the rest of my channel. I feel like I have two. It feels like separate of people who are commenting. I don't get the same names in the comments of my videos and the quizzes. I think it's two groups. So
yeah. Also, Jeremy Hall said about Aegon that he was okay, but he should have disciplined his kids more. Which, I guess.
Yeah.
But, I mean, when you have kids like Daron, who decided that he's gonna do what the Conqueror didn't manage, and without dragons.
Yeah, say what you want about Aegon, but both his sons sucked. 100%.
Yeah, my man was too traumatized.
Yeah, I mean, well, and also think about what growing up as Aegon the Third would be like. Your dad's dead, your mom's dead in a horrific way in front of you, and then for the first little bit, his brother he still thought was dead. Like Aegon the Third, you don't get through that, especially before therapy is a thing. How is he gonna get through all that trauma? I think that he did a great job, but this isn't the Aegon the Third video. Someday I think it would be fun to just do a live stream of just every Aegon. Let's just go through them.
Every Aegon Targaryen or every Aegon?
There isn't too many non-Aegon Targaryen. There's a couple Freys.
Yeah, there's a couple of Freys, and I think there's a couple of Blackfires.
Really?
Yeah, there's an Aegon Blackfire.
Oh, cute.
At least one.
Yeah, I do like the term holy guacamole. That's pretty good. And you didn't catch it live. Worms, parasites, and scarlet fever seem to be recurring themes. Yes,
they are.
And also, so would you say burst belly is appendicitis? That's what I would.
Burst belly is appendicitis. I think George actually confirmed that once in an interview.
I had that and survived. I got a huge scar because I was 4 when I got my appendix taken out.
Yikes.
And now they go through the belly button, so there's no scar anymore. But I know I got I look like I'm flayed. It's a. But I remember when it used to be smaller because I used to be smaller, right? I was 4 years old. So I remember when I first got it, everyone was talking about how small of a scar it was. But my grandpa literally was his whole front half. It was literally when he got his appendix taken out, because my grandpa's much older. They cut huge slash, just dug in there, I'm assuming. I was 4 when mine it actually ruptured in me, and I was already on antibiotics when it happened because they didn't know it was appendicitis. They thought it was something else. So they put me on antibiotics, and then it ruptured in me. And since I was already on antibiotics, I was able to fight the infection, and I almost died. And a lot of my earliest memories were in the hospital, which is weird. It was when I was 4. But anyways, me and Balon, that's it, man. Balon the Brave, me and him. Too bad. He could have got that appendix taken out, but nope. Damn medicine.
Boiled again.
Boiled again. Damn it. All right. So did we haven't talked about Garth the Painter. So Garth the 11th. called Garth the Painter. While his father had done much to restore the Reach on Highgarden after the Civil War, instigated by Peak Manderlys and the Dornish and everything else, Garth the 11th did the rest, taking such terrible vengeance on the Dornish that Lord Highgarden said the Red Mountains had been green until Garth painted them with Dornish blood, which of course isn't true. But that's great. For the remainder of his long reign, he was known as Garth the Painter. So it's not like, oh, he painted. No, he slaughtered so many Dornish people that he painted the Red Mountains. Like, that's fucking crazy.
That is also such good, like, how history gets distorted by the passage of time. You can definitely tell that is absolutely going on with Garth the Painter.
Yeah, I love that.
It is absolutely.
I'm sure there's plenty of kings like that where it's like, oh, like was it like whoever the Terrible, and it's like, oh, Terrible is a mistranslation or whatever. I'm not saying that Ivan was not terrible.
Yeah, because Grozny. So his title in Russian is Ivan Grozny. Grozny has a bit more of a. It's not just like you can translate it as terrible from my limited knowledge of Russian, but it mostly means inspiring terror, like terrifying, formidable.
Yeah. Like how some people use awe-inspiring and awful, right? Like awe-inspiring sounds like it's amazing, but awful is bad. Yeah. But yeah. Also, I've heard somebody bring this up before. They're like, oh, like Ivan the Terrible, it's a mistranslation. He wasn't that bad. And it's like, no.
No, he was terrible.
It's a mistranslation.
His name didn't mean
it was mistranslation, but he literally did invent secret police. Like, he had his enemies dragged out of their beds and murdered when they were sleeping. Like, no, like he did invent like
the opritchniki.
Yeah. Like, no, it's awful. Did he have his regions all tied to chairs and then had their beards soaked in oil and lit on fire?
I'm not sure if that was his regents. I think that was either his boyars, which are vassal lords in Russian culture, or the monks of the monasteries, because the Orthodox Church was very powerful.
But I didn't make up the horrific part. I just got the small part.
No, he was extremely horrific.
So just because that word might not mean terrible, let's not pretend Ivan wasn't terrible. That's all
it kind of more meant like terrifying, not terrible.
Yeah, Ivan the holy shit, bro.
Ivan the please leave me alone.
Yeah, like you could go ahead and have the rest of Moscow stop doing this.
yeah, exactly.
You can. Yeah.
He killed his heir. FRT is saying that Ivan the Terrible killed his heir. That is true.
Yeah.
Like legend says, over a game of chess, if memory serves.
No, I thought he died in game of chess.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Ivan died in the middle of a game of chess. I might only know that from epic rap battles. All the other facts I knew just the smart way, but I get a little bit from epic rap battles too.
To be fair, fair.
What are we doing here? I got a YouTube education. All right, so we covered the painter. We got one more group, and then frickin' Mern IX, bro. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, let's go through the late Gardener kings. So Persean III, fearing House Manderly's swelling power. Yeah, how are they getting fucking power again? Like, if I was the Gardeners, I would have them turn into like fucking landed knights at best. Like them and the Peaks. If I was Persean III, I would be like, no, you guys you're all like, turn your stewards into the kings, and you guys are now or the lords, and you're now the stewards. Like, fuck off. I would not let those.
But I don't think that was Persean's decision. I think that was the decision of Osmond Tyrell, or
yes, you're right. Way earlier,
earlier. So they had like a generation or two at the least.
Yeah, then they probably, you're right. They probably were beaten down, and then because Manderleys and Peak's gonna Manderley and Peak, right? So
Yeah, they both started amassing power in order to start the bitch fight again.
We're finally back on our feet. Why are those Manderleys looking at me that way?
Yeah.
Better go start a war. Yeah, so the Manderleys are swelling in power in the Reach. Perseon had Lord Lorimar Peak drive the Manderleys into exile and to the north. So the Manderleys are now gone. That went full circle. Perseon the Third's son, Gawain, married Lord Lorimar Peak's daughter, and in time succeeded Perseon. So yeah, this Gawain, so that's the end of the Peak Manderley thing. So it's crazy that not only did they come back into the power, but the Peaks came back into power enough to, they won this time. They were able to finally marry higher up and then just get rid of the fucking Manderleys. And as much as I like the Manderleys, one of them had to go. No.
Yes, they did.
One or both of them had to be fucking exiled. I don't like the Peaks, and I know a lot of people like Peak Performance. I know it's like a thing in our fandom to pretend the Peaks are the best house. I fucking hate them.
Yeah. I have an online acquaintance from New Zealand who keeps making these jokes.
Dude, I get them in my comments. I get Peak Performances in my comments. I get the Peaks are the best. It's the same. It's the same as all the Magor. Magor is based.
Yeah. The contrarians.
The contrarians. And then, I'm sure you've seen Aegor Bitterstill Rivers. He's pretty big in the fandom, but his love for the Blackfires anytime. And I understand loving the Blackfires more than I understand all the other ones. I like the Blackfires way more than the Peaks, and of course, way more than Aegor.
Yeah, no, I think as far as it goes, the Blackfires do have a non-contrarian fan base, and so it's just there's also a lot of contrarians around there. Then, as far as it goes, Peaks are just full-on contrarians.
Yeah, you just have to be goofing to the Peak. They've never done anything. You could claim the Blackfires did some good, and there are plenty of people who blame Magor's cruelty on his death, which I disagree with because he killed all those maesters before he died, and or to kill this first maester before he died, or they were like, oh, he was a necessary evil to not only quash the Faith Uprising, but also to cement the power. But I think power over people is inherently evil. So you can't pitch, hey man, we had to be evil in order to subjugate this entire continent. Well, I don't want you to subjugate the fucking continent to begin with, so I don't give a shit. I think just in order to be a king, I feel like you have to be at least a little on the evil side. But maybe that's
I've seen. Yeah, it's not just you, but there are genuine Magor apologists. I've met them.
Yeah, there are.
Not just contrarians for the sake of being contrarian, but genuinely they do believe that Magor is completely justified in persecuting the Faith Militant, in which I'm sure to a point.
But squashing rebellion is one thing. Burning houses. Burning the children and the small folk of multiple Westerland houses, Lorch, Peckleton, name them, right? And then not only that, but then Vagar went and did it in the Riverlands. That's just genocide. That's not war. That's not what war is.
I mean, he is called the Cruel for a good reason.
Yeah. And also just constantly slaughtering people who didn't agree with them, torturing Viserys to death.
Going to war against Aegon, the Young Crowned.
Yeah.
Aegon 1.5.
Taking the throne at all. And also you can pitch to me getting rid of the Faith Militant. I'll meet you halfway and say yes, they were a problem, and that was a rebellion, and it was a rebellion I don't agree with. But the way they did it was a little fucking much. like the way they got rid of him. And not only that, but just like literally everything else he did. Like you can't pitch how he treated his wives, how he treated his niece, how he tortured his nephew to death. You can't pitch me any of those things. Like, no. They're all non-starters for me. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, you're not.
No, not really.
By the way, go back to the Vandalies and Peaks. Jeremy once again jumping in with a good message. He's saying, I'm sure the Starks felt they got the better deal. House Peak was in every Blackfire rebellion and their own uprising that killed Micah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They're like, oh man, one of those reach houses who keep fighting showed up on her door. Which one? I don't know. Which one are you guys, Manderleys?
Ooh.
And you know what?
Here's the wolves then. If you come here and defend the fucking White Knife, you can stay.
Not only are they like fine up the north, they're more than fine. They're like the best vassals. Like
they are
like
thriving.
Rich, powerful, thriving, extremely loyal. Like, dude, what were they doing in the fucking Reach that was so wrong that they had to keep starting fucking fights? Like, it's hard to not say the Peaks were the problem. Like,
no, it's like I think the difference is that we're a big fish in a small pond comparably to the Reach in the Reach.
Yo, yeah. Is how many powerful houses in the Reach opposed to how many powerful houses in the North? Like they're powerful for the North standards.
There's the Boltons, there's the Umbers, the Castocks. I don't think appeared yet on the scene. No, I guess there's the Dustins.
Yeah, but even them, those aren't like sure. Those are powerful for up there, and maybe I'll give you Bolton, but Tarleys, Rowans,
exactly,
Red Wines, High Towers, like these are big.
They went from big fish in a crowded pond to like the apex predator under the Starks.
Where the biggest they got here is the Boltons.
And I think also the thing here is that like as far as it goes, I do think this way the Starks govern, and I've made the argument before that the Starks govern more as a mediator between the other houses as opposed to being like so like absolute like their word counts more and they go and punish. They're more like in this position of mediator that is above above the disputes.
They're like
I think that kind of benefited them in a way.
They're like not to make too much American history references, but like Calvin Coolidge was a president who's like, leave me out of it until like he wasn't trying to control, like, you know, he wasn't like, this is my agenda. He was like, all right, guys, let me know if you need me, but I'm gonna be hanging out. Like I'm not gonna be.
Yeah, he was very you guys
can. Yeah, like hands off, but I will veto if it gets bad.
And I'll push like one idea, but I will not like try to control every single thing.
Yeah,
like that's kind of how the Starks are. Like, yeah, sure, there's like some Starks who had some more bold agendas, but like in general.
Yeah, you got this cowboy over here saying, the Manderleys moving north and being the only ones who understood the benefits of trade and making making a good harbor was OP. Yeah, absolutely. Like absolutely. I do love like the Manderleys like probably showed up and they're just like, hey, we got a harbor here. Does anyone do trade? And all the Northerners are like, what?
Like, what are you talking about?
You guys ever like give some of your goods to somebody else for their goods and then sell those for a higher, and then you buy more and sell that for higher? And they're like,
sounds fake.
Yeah, sounds pretty lame. No, we just kill our enemies. What are you talking about? Can't sit the ladder much. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, exactly. Bob has it right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny how now like the Peaks gaining the upper hand has given the Manderleys and the Starks by association and the North in general like this huge upgrade.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do, man, I really low-key really love the Manderleys.
They are pretty cool.
Yeah. And I also just like, because I'm a bit of a chubby guy, it's hard to tell like boob down, but I got a big gut. So any capable big dudes. Like I'm a big fan, like either like combat wise or just like, you know, one could say maybe in the top 10, you could put frickin' Wyman Manderley as like a gameplay, like playing the Game of Thrones. He's definitely up there as one of the better ones. And I
He's
just
fat,
love
not
the
stupid.
yeah, and that's it. Is I don't like big fat oafs, like, you know, but make a fat guy who's just like kind of handling it like oh, I'm just stupid, I'm over here being fat, and then he's like I like that. And also it's why I have a huge soft spot for Guy Lawson. You're gonna know Guy Lawson probably, but most people don't. Guy the Glutton from Maegor's Trial. But I love the idea of just this like super fat knight who can just hang. Like he just like he just ate freaking a dozen pies, and then he just like, all right, I'll be part of the Trial of 7. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the guy who had like the myth about him having like half digested pies.
Hell yeah.
You know? That's got Austin.
Yeah. When his stomach opened up, like 10 half digested pies.
Jay. Yeah, metal.
It's so Looney Tunes. I love it.
It's Looney Tunes and metal at the same time.
Yeah, metal tunes. Yeah, Wyman looks like Patch Face if he didn't wear yeah. Okay,
we can continue on with the next king if you want.
Yeah, we're doing good here. Where were we? Yeah, we just went with Gawain.
No, we went with Persian. Next up is Gawain.
No, he married the daughter of the Peak.
Yeah, exactly. We talked about them both in tandem, I guess.
Yep. And then so we got Graydon, our first ever Graydon. Graydon attempted an invasion of Dorne, but was thrown back by Princess Nymeria. Yeah, you picked the wrong fucking like era to invade Dorne.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, yeah, you wait to pick the moment when Nymeria shows up.
Hey, I heard there's a girl in charge. Yeah, did you read the rest of the Raven where it said that the girl already won like 5 fucking wars?
Yeah, the problem is that one, patriarchal society, Westeros, blah 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 blah. 2, how the fuck should he know about these Roina and what the fuck they're capable of?
Yeah, dude, they got turtle
shells. They kind of show up out of nowhere.
Yeah, badass motherfuckers too. I love the Roinar.
Yeah,
they are definitely not only like in Dorne, but like the Roinish culture in like when they're going down the Roin. I love all of that. I love the Orphans of the Green Blood.
Yeah.
That it's such a cool, like, rich culture that we only see a little bit of. But like, yeah.
But it makes it like, especially with the from Yandri and Isilla, because on the Shy May, like it's like you don't waste that much time on it, but at the same time you get like this glimpse into a hugely rich, like it gives you the impression that this is a hugely rich culture that is like not everything
and they're not
shown,
even,
but it's implied, and
they're not even from there. Like they are Dornish. Like Yandri and Priscilla are orphans who moved back. That's so fucking cool.
Yeah, and you can see, you also get like the Orphans of the Green Blood. Like you see how they kind of preserve the most like Roinish
what's
customs.
his name? What's his name? Garen, the one who's part of the Queenmaker plot.
Yeah, it's Garen. Yeah, who has like a golden tooth, and I think, and like a earring.
Yeah, no, I love the orphans, and I just love the Roinish culture. I love it's like Garen the Great, the one who the Valyrians like drowned in the Roin, and then he cursed it, like, and he called the curse, and that's when the fog came up and the sorrows came up.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that whole fucking area is so cool.
He was put in a cage while half captive in the captured Croyane, and then he called the flood with like the Roinish water magics and caused Grayscale to appear.
Fuck yeah. Like, that's such cool lore. And then like the Valyrians killed one of the old men of the river, like one of the gigantic horn turtles that are like hundreds of feet long or whatever. The huge ones, like they hunted and killed one of them, and it started an entire war called the First Turtle War, which implies that there was a second Turtle War. I love the fucking Roin, dude. The Roin's so cool. I could do an entire live stream on Roin. I really could.
Yeah, and I think the culmination of that is like the old man of the river like scene, because you see like that huge ass turtle that is like it's supposed to be like a huge turtle species to begin with, but then you get like a huge example of that species, and that's why Yandri and Isila go like, oh, it's the god.
Yeah,
it's the old man of the river, the god, not like the turtle species.
Yep. And that's what I love is the idea that one of those got killed by Valyria, and then it's like you started a war over this. It's like you killed one of our giant you killed one of our giant turtles, you dick.
Yeah.
Which is something that like not to
you go have down this declared war.
But yeah, not to go down like this colonizer route or anything like that, but the idea of how many times have you heard of like something that's sacred to a local population that the invading population doesn't give a shit about? It's like, you chopped down our sacred whatever, like you killed our giant sacred turtle, you dicks. You're gonna start a whole war out of it. Anyways, I don't know how we got there. I love the fucking Roy.
We were talking about Graydon invading.
Messing with Nymeria. That's what I'm saying. Don't fuck with the Roynish.
That's so fucking like, okay. You made your bed, now deal with it.
Yeah, just the worst time to invade. I love that so much. Like, we're gonna invade Dorne. Now, like, we don't even know at what point. Like, I'm sure we can find out at what point she threw back that. But like at that point, she was probably married to the Sword of the Morning. Like, she married Davos Dane at one point. Like, she was married to the literal Sword of the Morning. Like, yeah, go fuck with that.
I can try to figure it out if it says on the wiki. Give me a sec.
Yeah, if you want to. I'm gonna read Garth the 12th. It's a really easy one. A coin has been minted during the reign of Garth the 12th, is found beneath the chamber pot in Rugen's cell by Qyburn. This leads Queen Cersei to believe that the Tyrells have something to do with Tyrion Lannister's escape. Yeah, we don't need to open up that kind of worms. We do not.
No, we do not.
But I love Rugen. I was thinking of doing an April Fool's where I cover Rugen and not mention Varys at all.
Like, that is a great idea, and you should keep it to yourself and do it next year when nobody expects.
I was thinking about doing either that or Robert Strong without in any way mentioning Gregor, like zero mention of Gregor Clegane the entire thing. Just like, let's talk about Robert Strong. He's a brand new dude. So oath of silence, and then also doing a video for Mormont's Raven without mentioning Blood Raven, no mention of warging at all. Like just talk about the Raven as if he's just a Raven.
Half the video is just you screeching into a mic, corn. Yeah.
Well, no, because I do quotes. So it'd say, and in this scene he says corn.
Yeah, right, he does. Anyway, corn code.
Yeah, anyways, moving on. All right. Garce, not Garth. Garce. And there was fucking 7 of these guys. Garce, the 7th, they got the worst names, was slain by King Argilac Dondarrion, the last of the Storm Kings. So you know how close we are now in the Battle of Summerfield during the Century of Blood. So yeah, we're fucking getting there. Our next one is the last one.
Yeah, Garce was probably like one of the immediate predecessors, because like Argilac.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Sorry,
maybe.
Going. Yeah.
Okay, because Argilac Durandon is like very much, he reigned for a relatively long time, so he could be like the grandfather of the next king. But but it's very much towards the end of the whole Gardener reign, towards the end of this. And you see, it's the Century of Blood. Everybody's fighting in the aftermath of Valyria's collapse.
Yeah, and I love Argilac the Arrogant. I did do a video for him, and it gave me like a new perspective of him. Because like when I first read about him, I just thought he was an asshole. Like I was like, this guy who's arrogant and he's chopping people's hands off and he's being a prick. But like, definitely all of his dealings with Aegon was, at the very least misguided. Like, he shouldn't have talked to Aegon that way. Nor should he have tried to push him around. But I have like a soft spot for like guy fought forever, tried to do everything he could. He was an amazing warrior, but he didn't have any sons. He's like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like I tried, like, and he fought out all these wars and won most of them, but he just didn't have an heir. So he was just, you know, his whole life was nothing in this culture, this horrible fucking culture. And
Yeah.
Oh, Garth is a character from George R. R. Martin's Dying in the Light.
Nice. Yes.
Cool.
That's where the name comes from. It's by the way, one of the worst names that George has ever made up.
Garth?
Like,
there's got to be worse than Garth. Uther Shet.
Uther Shet is obviously the go-to fucking character, but I mean, like, not like a certain, like a specific Garth, but all the Garths. Keep in mind, for those who are not American, it sounds like arse, as in how the British say
arse. Yeah, Garth, arse. Yeah. Also, he would have to go with. I would have to go with. It depends on how you want to say it, but Eutherides or Authorize Wayne, like.
I don't know that I know exactly. I think I go back and forth between Eutherides and Eutherides.
I went with Eutherides, and I knew no matter what I did, people were gonna be mad. So I just I chose the one I wanted to, and that goes with a lot. Like, there's plenty of like of names where I'm like, what's the other one? Cassell or Castle, Roderick Cassell, Roderick Castle. I've been called like a complete piece of shit for saying both. like it's.
I usually say Cassell, but but I think that's because of the show, because they call him Cassell in that. No.
Yeah, I think they do. But dude, George R. R. Martin says Dothraki. Can we just agree it doesn't fucking
Apparently
matter?
He approves of Pattaya and Brian, so yeah, whatever.
Yeah, Brian. Yeah, like, can we just, if you know what I'm talking about, can we just fucking not care? You know, like I mean Roderick Cassell or Castle. Let's move on, you know. But yeah, something's up with Roderick. His facial hair. All right, I think we got Mern. Yeah. Got that final Mern, right? We finished up this one. Yeah, Garth. Good old Garth. Mern the Last. Do you think they were trying to name him Garth, but like the dad, like Garth the 12th had like a really bad like speech impediment or something? He's like, Garth. Like, okay.
Maybe.
And that happened 7 times.
Something like that, probably.
Maybe. All right, Mern the Last. So Mern the Ninth. After Aegon the Conqueror landed in Westeros, this is my most summing up of the conquest I could do. After he landed in Westeros, it said on conquering the 7 kingdoms, that Mern the Ninth of the Reach and King Lorne the Lannister of the Rock agreed to join forces to throw the invaders back into the sea. So I'm skipping over everything that happened with the Harrenhal, everything that happened in the Vale, everything that happened in the Stormlands. Let's just jump right to the field of fire. Fuck it. Since he had brought half as many or more men, Mern had the honor of commanding the center of the combined army from the Reach and the Westerlands. Edmund, Mern's son and heir, was to lead the vanguard, while another son, Gawain, accompanied the king with his banner. Now, like, I know that you don't plan on your own death. I know that's not something that comes into people's minds, but you can't leave one fucking member of your family home. Like, he brought cousins he brought every single gardener. Like, you don't fucking think about that? Like, shouldn't we at least leave, like, cousin Ted just in case? You know, like that always have a Stark in Winterfell? Like, isn't it weird that the gardener's rule was always have a Tyrell in Highgarden? Like, they leave the Tyrells, but they didn't leave any other gardener? Like, I don't know. That seems insane to me, that you bring your entire family.
It might make us think about whether the Tyrells didn't manipulate that for their own benefit, like with the whole growing strong thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They probably are like, hey, take them all. Yeah. Tyrells must have murdered the... See, now that's something I never heard of. Maybe. I mean, of course, the Tyrells could just say they didn't. They're in charge, right? In no way, would such a large host send every single of the male line. It is super weird. Cousin Ted, first of his name. Yeah, that's in the lore.
Yeah.
It is now.
Maybe they
did.
Like,
maybe they did kill
they could have, but at the same time, they didn't get rid of like all like the Gardener descendants that aren't them. Like, for example, like there is this I think, I'm not sure they're fully canonical or semi-canonical, but there's Household Flowers, which is a small minor house in the Reach.
But we know nothing about Household Flowers.
No, we know nothing about them.
Sigil.
We just have their sigil, which tells us they're probably Gardener bastards, because I think it's a couple of white hands on green, which is
it's reversed, and it even has the red Ben Sinister across it.
Yeah. So they're essential. Oh, we know about one Old Flowers. It's a knight at Ashford Meadow, like, one of the background characters.
Yeah, whatever. I definitely did a short on Old Flowers, right? I had to have. There's no way I didn't. I would be so surprised if I didn't. Household Flowers. Yeah. March 10th, 2025. Yeah, not even that long ago. Yeah. I love those. I found just a bunch of houses that looked like houses with reverse colors with red Ben Sinisters. I found like 4 in a row. And I'm like, this is clearly this house. Like, this is clearly a bastard from this. All right, so let's finish off Mern, because I totally have a clip I really want to play. Mern led the charge against the Aegon's army alongside his kin, all of them for some reason. The combined might of the Reach and the Rock began to break the Targaryen host, but Aegon and his sisters, Visenya and Rhaenys, took the sky with their dragons. The beast killed 4,000 men of the combined army at the Field of Fire, along with Mern and his sons, grandsons, brothers, cousins, and other kin. What other kin is there? Uncles?
Yeah, probably.
Well, what did we fucking leave out? Second cousins? Another 1,000 men perished from sword and spears. One nephew of King Mern survived, but he died of his burns 3 days later. Yeah. That is definitely the Tyrell killing that one off. I will buy the Tyrell. He died from his wounds. But yeah, since we're talking about the Field of Fire, I got this.
So much flames on the side of my face.
I watched Clue recently. So
yeah.
Do some Clue. I really hope I don't get copyrighted. but that was an 8-second one. I was trying to avoid some longer ones because it was a 7-second MC Hammer that got me last time. So
yeah, but yeah, it's entirely like this whole the fall of the Gardeners. It's like this very questionable thing that happens here.
All of those people. Why would you have all of your kin? Like, that's so weird to me. Yeah, like, there's got to be... Wouldn't one person say, like, let's not send all of them, dude? Like, keep your heir? Like, how is it only the Starks think about that? Like, there should always be a Stark and Winterfell. How is that a saying just for them? How is it a fucking saying everywhere?
Yeah, I do think that there's essentially 2 options of what happened. It's either what we've been positing so far, that the Tyrells have been kind of pulling the strings here and trying to like eliminate the Gardener, seeing Aegon as an opportunity to gain grasp at power.
Yeah.
Or alternatively, Mern himself was overconfident and kind of like didn't understand the full threat that dragons posed, and thought that him and the Lannisters together as the Rock and the Reach were going to be too fucking large of an army in order for Aegon to do anything.
Yeah, it could have just been hubris, like a fight that they don't think it's going to be hardcore. Oh, this stupid dragon guy is going to show up, and we have so many people. Like, they have the biggest fucking army literally ever. Like, literally the highest number that's ever been on Westeros marching at once. But like, I don't know. I still like that definitely. I think it's definitely a play on why Aegon won. Is all of these old kings were arrogant and had so much fucking hubris. Like it literally goes like Argilac the arrogant, and then like the hubris of fucking Harren the Black. Like, oh, you can't burn me in my castle. It's like, why? Because the walls are high? Yes. Well, I've got a fucking dragon. Well, it's all made of stone. Yeah, but your people aren't. You're not. Like, so it's all this like, I'm so big I can't get beaten. And it's like this army is so big, like might as well invite everybody. Let's like make a fucking day of it, right? And bring our entire family and we'll have like a picnic and we'll throw beanbags and stuff. And then it turns out 3 dragons can undo all of your hubris. Like you can be as arrogant as you fucking want, but I got Balerion the Black Dread.
Yeah, that's essentially what happened. Like that's one of the 2 options that we really have, and I do think that the Tyrells have. And
I think it could be both.
This.
It's
it could be both. Like these are not mutually exclusive. You could have Mern be this man who flew too close to the dragon, to borrow a metaphor, and also have the Tyrells encourage that delusion with whispers in the ear.
Yeah.
Just for their own profit and benefit. I mean, they had their motive. They got Aegon.
Well,
and the reach.
And also like you can be as arrogant as you want, but you think that the Tyrells could have been like, "Hey, leave one guy," and then they're like, "Oh yeah, no shit, we should do that." I think the Tyrells were like, "Bring as many as you want, because that's going to be less for us to poison afterwards." But
Yeah.
I'm confused on this one. It's possible they came Blackwoods.
I was just replying in chat to that. It's
I know. I heard you clicking. That's why I started looking at the chat.
Sorry.
Because anytime I hear you clicking, I see one of your comments. So I did the math already on that. Are you saying that there are Tyrell that Gardener bastards are Blackwoods? Is that what they're asking?
No, I think they're asking. I'm not. I mean, he's asking if it's possible that is the thing, because he doesn't. He thinks that they were called the Blackwoods because the tree got poisoned. But that's
no, they were the Blackwoods way before that. Yeah, Blackwoods are old god from the north. Yeah, they're all the way. They're an old family. Before the Blackwoods are literally Benedict Justman, so this is way before the Andals and everything. Like the Blackwoods are old.
No, the Blackwoods are not called that. The Blackwoods, as far as what hints we have, seem to be named after what the original name of the Wolfswood was, because they seem to have been the kings in the Wolfswood. And I know. It was called Blackwood. I'm telling you also the.
Oh, okay. You
chat.
Can bring them back. They were Gardener blood. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, but Crusader Kings 3.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, it's not canon. What?
Sure, but like it's fun.
I'm sure it's fun. I've never played it, but I know like a lot of people I respect, like you in Michael talks about stuff. Like a lot of you guys swear by it, and if I ever played it, I'm sure I would have a fucking blast. Like I heard the Song of Ice and Fire mod is insane in that, and it's really fun. So
the CK3 Aegon mod is pretty insane. Like the CK2 one was pretty good as well. I
heard that was better. I heard that 2 is better.
But I mean, 2 had more time to like.
More time in the oven,
not just more time in the oven. It's more to do with how the publisher of these games, Paradox, kind of publishes games, because they publish a base game that is mostly incomplete, but then they pump out DLCs. That adds in more and more features. And CK3 is not fully done with that, so there's not all the features in it that, for example, could help with, say, making Bravos playable in CK3. You could play Bravos in CK2, but cool. In CK3 that's not yet possible, or if they did an update, I wasn't paying attention. But in CK2, at least, you had more of the world for, like, especially Essos.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's not yet the case in this. Like, you have the Disputed Lands. I think you have Lys, Mimir, and Tyrosh are playable.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think we got it, dude.
Yeah, we do. Like, we've gotten to the end of the Gardeners.
Yeah. I was sad to see those two go, but then I had the thought, like, I don't know, man, me and Tormund, like, we could just kill this shit. I love the other two guys, but like knowing it's fun to find like a kindred spirit in somebody who has as much fucking lore knowledge in their head where I don't. Because so many times when I'm talking to other people, and I'm not trying to talk shit, like everybody else who's making content for Song of Ice and Fire, they're doing theories and other things, and they don't have much as a lore in their head, and we're all different. We have different priorities. But you know how many times, I'm sure you do it a lot, where you throw out something, and then they're like, oh, I didn't know that. It's like, oh, you didn't? Oh, shit. Okay. And it's just fun that, like, I don't have to think. I could just throw out a crazy lore, and then if anything, you'll correct me on it. You never get lost. It's fun. It's fun to work with you.
Yeah, that's kind of really... I mean, sometimes I'm, like, confusing stuff, but I do think, like, I don't know, I just memorized this stuff. I don't know. It's easy for me.
And we're not perfect on it. We don't bat 100, but we're pretty close. But there's just so
I don't
much.
think
I don't think
anybody
it's
bets
possible.
100. I don't think even George does that. I mean, to be fair, as far as I understood it from what Elio said, his notes are so scattered.
We both bat better than George. So I'm sorry. We both bat better than George.
Sorry, George, but
the only shit he knows that we don't know is the things he hasn't told us yet. That's the only thing that he knows that we don't know. But I think we bet better than George. But I don't know. I would love to do a Song of Ice and Fire quiz against George. That would be a fucking dream. To just see if I could beat him. Yeah, but then he could just retcon it live. Like he gets his story wrong or gets a question wrong. He's like, all right, in the next book, I'm changing that. Like, damn it. So I did do trivia way back in the day, and I don't know how everybody else in that perceives it, but I feel like it went badly only because I made the trivia questions really hard, and everyone I brought in wasn't quite ready for it, and a lot of them, and it's not their fault, I made it too hard, and some of them didn't do very good, and then I made the mistake of like commenting on that, so I made one person feel stupid. All on me. I shouldn't have done that. And then Russ just cheated the whole way through it, which didn't fucking help anything. And me and Rust are fine now. Yeah. But as much as I really wanted that to become a thing, no one asked for it after that night. And I thought I took that as a fucking sign that, like, all right, that was a failed experiment. And then I thought maybe one day, because I was a big fan of a movie trivia thing that used to be on YouTube, a huge fan, called the Movie Trivia Schmodown, and they had a really good way of doing a competitive trivia, and I like kind of just took a lot of their ideas and I used to on like my channel very long ago, before I was a Song of Ice and Fire, I would do a Star Wars trivia that was really fun, and yeah, I love hosting trivia. I can't actually do it because of the way my brain works. Especially when I'm like doing trivia, I fuck up the details or my head gets jumbled and I'm just not quick on the spot. But I'm really good at writing them because I have the knowledge. I'm just not super good at pulling it super quick. So
gotcha.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe one day I'll try to do a trivia thing again. But yeah, if I ever did, because I know Tormund's really good, I would invite him. And then I would make sure I told everybody going into it, like, this is not lightweight. I will not be asking who's the oldest son of Ned Stark. Like, no, I will actually be giving some really hard questions. Yes, I mean, maybe it's definitely a possibility, but I also really like the topics we've been doing for the live streams recently. Like, I feel like I got a good handle on either doing sigils every king, and then I have like a person who's too big for me to cover, or a location too big for my locations. So that's the 4 things I have up, and then whatever wins, right? Like, I feel like that's really good for live stream topics. So I don't really want to venture away from that right now.
Yeah, that makes
So,
sense.
yeah. So fucking going back to Maegor, this beat out Maegor the Cruel and the Red Keep. Like,
yeah, I know.
Wow.
Like, I was surprised. Now, I wasn't pulling for neither of these three. I was for option 4.
Yeah, you wanted to do sigils again.
Yeah,
right?
I was going for the Veil.
Yeah, and the Veil almost won. It won for a minute. It was in charge for a second, and then this pulled through, which I was happy. I like this one, but I thought Maegor was gonna win like 75%. Like I thought he was gonna stomp, but or the Red Keep. But don't worry.
Those two seem like the obvious contenders.
Yeah. But I'm not taking them away. They're just going back into the pool, and I'll pull them out eventually. Like depending on how long I do live streams. If I continue to do once a month for long enough, they'll find their way back onto the pool. But like, yeah, I thought because I would love to talk about the Red Keep. Like, I think I absolutely think there's a
lot. The Red Keep is huge.
Yeah, and I'm gonna do it with as little talk about time as I like, a little talk about rain as I can. I don't want to talk about Targaryens unless they're adding to the Red Keep. Like that's like I want to just talk about the building, and then I'm of course going to talk about Maegor for building it. But like, there's some sick, weird, crazy, weird shit going on in the Red Keep. Like, there's a fucking stairway to hell. Like that's what one of Old Nan's thing was, that there's stairs in the Red Keep that go all the way to hell. And there's weird things about Varys coming up from the ground, like, or not only that, but like, I love the theory of Jack and Hagar not being just a normal faceless man, because he has his own thing going on and he acts very differently than the other faceless men. What if he came up from the portal from hell and he's literally the fucking stranger? like these are like the fun things I would love to talk about from the Red Keep. But.
Yeah, like there's a lot to talk about when it comes to the Red Keep. There's also we have a very good description. Like the Red Keep is one of the two most best described castles in our story.
Yeah,
next to Winterfell.
And Winterfell is another one I wouldn't ever do on my own. It would be one of these. It's on that.
To be fair, like with Winterfell, we've been able to actually make a canonical map with the whole layout, because we had known just so much that we do have like basically a layout for it.
And probably even more than Winterfell. Or maybe even more than Red Keep, maybe number one actually would be Dragonstone. We have a full-on map on too. Like we have so much of Dragonstone described.
There's a couple of castles that are very well described. It's Castle Black, it's Dragonstone.
And I would never do Castle Black just because it's not interesting outside of outside of architecture. Like, if I'm covering a thing on the wall and I already have, I would do the Night Fort. It has pretty much the same architecture, but it's the fucking Night Fort.
It's not exactly true, and because the Night Fort is like the only proper castle. The others don't have like walls towards the south.
It's more built into the wall, opposed to Castle Black. It's built next, like it's more described as next to the wall. In Night Fort seems more like it's literally in the inside it.
Plus, the Night Fort has all the stories around it. That is, you can't ignore it.
Yeah, we did this video. I did the video. It was like two or 3 years ago now, but yeah, I did it with Michael. And yeah, that video was really good, and I love talking Night Fort. So yeah, that I wouldn't talk another place on the wall on a live stream. I'll do it part of my location series. I'm actually going to do in a very, very long time. I have like probably more than a year planned for that series already. Cause I dropped it in, I didn't want to cover like multiple Vale houses before I get to one Riverlands house or whatever, or location. So I have like every single kingdom plus Essos or Sothorios is one slot. And then like the wall or beyond the wall is another slot. And then I like filled up that whole slot and then filled up the next one and filled up the next one. So I have like 4 rotations planned already. And
Gotcha.
I put Queen's Crown on there because I love the idea of a castle that we do see, but it's not on the wall, but it's in the gift and it's owned by the watch. So it's like, it's a watch castle, but it's not a castle on the wall. I find that really fucking interesting. It's like in the middle of the gift. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very much so. Like, Queen's Crown is like a location that I do think at some point we might revisit. I'm not entirely sure about it, but
you kind of forget we get full-on chapters there. Like, it's not a random place. Like, we see it.
There's 2 chapters there. There's Bran 3?
Something
Storm
like
of
that,
Swords,
I'm
and
not
John whatever the fuck.
Yeah. Storm.
No, because it's Bran, because Bran has only 4 chapters in Storm. That's why I was like,
oh.
Sorry,
yeah,
I just know this shit. Sorry. I'm showing my power levels here.
You read it more than I read it, because I listened until David Reed's channel got taken away, which is really sad. In freaking Pour One Out. I listened to it, and now because of David Reed's is gone, now I've been relying more on my books in searching through them, which probably has made me do, like, it's probably forced me to do more details, honestly, which is probably not a bad thing. But we know that chapters that take place. Oh my God, you're fucking crazy, dude. Bran 3 of Storm.
Sorry?
Yeah, you guessed it right. Bran 3 of Storm.
Well, there's like 4 Bran chapters in Storm. One
you're right.
Tower. The other one is where he meets the little clansmen and now staying with him in a cave while they're going to the northern mountains. Number 3 is Queen's Crown. Number 4 is Nightfall.
Yeah, all right. See, I don't have that in my head. I don't have 4 chapters of Bran in my head. Like, I don't know. It's all blended together. Like, I'm not gonna know which chapter something comes, or like what chapter each book, like it's from what book, unless it's something that I know I can place. Like, it's so much, like, I don't know. It's so one huge thing in my ears, like in my head. Like, if you're like, oh, what chapter is that? What book is that? Like, I just know what happens. Like, I don't know. It's like one big story for me. But
like, the thing is with some of the, like, it really depends. Sometimes. Yeah, sorry.
No, it's all good. I was just answering. Yeah, it's really sad. But yeah.
But yeah, it's just like it's an extremely like weird situation where with some of these characters, and depending on who and what is going on, like depending on how many chapters, obviously, because if there's too many chapters, I don't know. But like, I can like remember for some reason which chapter shit happens in, and I don't know.
Yeah, I don't got that in my head.
I don't know. I'm not like trying to memorize them.
No,
like,
I know.
Cheat sheet.
I know. And it's funny because I didn't think my knowledge was big until I met other Song of Ice and Fire creators. I thought I had a normal, if not like lower than normal knowledge. And then I started meeting other creators, and then I would toss something out, and they would be like, "Huh?" I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then like something that I'm not trying to break, but like something I thought was mundane, and they wouldn't know what I'm talking about. And then I would have to be like, do I fucking know too much? And then it just like kind of slowly dawned on me, like, geez, I know a little too much about this. And then I met you, and I remember just being so flabbergasted the first time you like opened I think it was in the Iron Island one, where you're just like, oh, no, you're thinking of the wrong Iron Island King. It was actually blah, blah, blah. And I was like, this fucking guy. And I was like so impressed. And then after that, I'm like, dude, I got to get on to as much as I can. Because I love
you have luck with me right now, because people probably saw and were curious about like my, like the something. Like, I'm at I'm doing a work thing. Like I'm not home. I'm at a
Yeah.
hotel in another city because of a work conference thing. So I was like, okay. I went to sleep really early. Put an alarm like pretty early so I could wake up and made myself like I got a coffee from like a 24/7 store like nearby and
Nice.
came back for this so I could be awake. I decided, hey, I went to bed early so I didn't like lose sleep. But yeah,
That's good at least. I can't believe that you do anything for your sleep schedule for me because I don't.
it's not about. I already have shit sleep patterns.
All right,
It's
good.
a long story.
All right. Yeah, because like if like I don't need an excuse in any way for anyone not making these. So like, because I just ask, and if they can do it, they do it. And even if it's like, hey, I'm just not feeling up to it, I'm never gonna go, come on, man. Like it's like, oh yeah, okay. Like I don't want you here if you're not up to it. That's fine. And then when you're
There
like,
might
yeah, I'll
be
set an
some.
alarm. I'm like, dude, don't put yourself out. Like, don't have
Look,
to.
the thing is, it's fun for me. I like.
Yeah, no,
doing
I
this.
love it.
So it's like I'm gonna be like, if it's not like constant, like once a month, it's like okay, sure.
Yeah. Okay. I
I
think we're
already
talking.
have a shit sleep schedule. So.
Well, so rotating 12-hour shifts.
Yeah, for me, it's more like I struggle with sleep. It's insomnia
Well,
hours over here.
You can't do rotating 12-hour shifts and not struggle. I just had the last week off and I still slept like shit because my whole brain is destroyed from rotating shifts. I can't a lot of times because if you train your body that you only need 4 hours, then you'll wake up at midnight. And then from somebody making noise or your kid coming in or whatever, I have a baby who's literally sleeping in our room because we have a 6-month-old kid right now. So like I'll wake up from him making noise and my body's like, that's all you need. I'm like, no, it isn't. Fuck. Like I don't have anything going on. Like I can go back to sleep. And then I won't. I'll just lay in bed. Yeah. So
I have the same experience with the kids.
Yeah.
And still do now. Like it still happens.
Mm-hmm. Well,
It's
I've had to like really put my foot down when I'm on graveyard shifts. Like you are not allowed to enter the bedroom until like I at least have a chance to sleep. Like don't come in here until 3 p.m. Like I need to, because if you come in at noon, I'm going to only get I'm only going to get like 4 hours and my body will not let me go back to sleep. So just stay like at the earliest you can knock on the door, come in and grab something at like 3:30. But like I can't keep working 12-hour shifts with under 4 hours of sleep. It's just so hard and so miserable, like
yeah,
so,
I can imagine.
No, I do not work at a hospital. I work at a factory. We manufacture something. So the factory you can't stop it. Like you can't just hit the off switch because everything's full of juice or full of steam or full of whatever, and things have to keep moving. So the factories, a whole crew is there right now. Like there's always a shift on. So yeah. But anyways, I think it's time to get going. We lost our crew like 3 hours ago, 2 hours ago.
No, it was more like an hour ago, but
I know.
Or 1.5. But yeah, let's be dramatic.
Like to exaggerate.
Let's be dramatic. Let's throw drama. Let's stir the pot.
Yeah, let's stir the pot. Let's get it going. Yeah, I know a lot of people hear graveyard shift and go right to hospitals, but and what's funny is so many people who I work with either like I'm friends with nurses who I can just like snap at night because they're up like the graveyard shift crews know each other like because it's the only other people who you can talk to. So like I have friends who are up all night because of their jobs, and I've just gravitated towards like being friends with them. So you have somebody to like talk to at 3 a.m. when you're tired at work, like message, hey, what's up? How's your shift? So it's funny how like nurses and factory workers hang out. Like, who else is going to be fucking awake? I hope a big wave's coming. We'll see. But yeah. You want to get out of here?
Sure. I'm gonna have to get ready soon. I mean, it's 7:30, and I have to be at the convention center at 9. So I'm gonna have to get.
Well, it's 12:30, and I haven't even made my character for Oblivion yet. So I'm gonna go do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even. Do you think I'm gonna make it out of the sewer tonight? Maybe. we'll see.
It depends on your pace. You can.
Yeah.
That's dependent on your on the pace that you play at.
I'm sure I'm gonna spend more time at character creation than.
Yeah.
I haven't even decided yet. I just bought the remake for Oblivion, and yeah, I haven't decided my build. I think I'm gonna do some type of a battle mage, just because I really want to do. I love the magic system in it, and I really want to do what am I looking for? The Mages Guild in Oblivion. Yeah. But the problem is I don't want to play a full-on mage because that's boring. So I think I want to make a Knight of Madness build where I'm just gonna be a battle mage as like a start. Tell me how this sounds, and then we're gonna end it. Like kind of a medium armor, nothing too hardcore. And then work on destruction and illusion, and then besides that, a battle mage with destruction illusion. And once I'm all the way done with, maybe completely done with the Fighters Guild and Mages Guild, then I move over to Share Gorath, and then switch to full-on Madness armor, and then pick up a couple weird quirks like I always collect yarn, or like, oh, I can't sleep on beds anymore. Like come up with a couple role play, a couple weird madness ideas, and that be my build. So I want to be like a Knight of Madness.
That sounds fun. I was trying to figure out what was an illusion in Oblivion, because recently
specifically so I can cause frenzy. Because it's madness. Because I want people to all attack each other.
Yeah. No, I was kind of thinking about that, because I was like, give me what was it exactly? Because I'm thinking I've been playing Morrowind actually.
Oh,
kind of on that grind set.
Well, Morrowind is you pick up alteration, and then everything else is fucking for show.
Yeah, alteration magic is just OP.
It literally breaks the game.
Well, you do need a bit of mysticism for Mark and Recall.
Yeah, that's it.
Or you get the amulets, really. There's plenty of them. Maybe a bit of enchanting, just so you can have more charge. Or
just join the Legion, so you can go and join whatever guild, so you can steal all the divine interventions and the intervention, and then figure it out from there.
I think Edwina Elbert in Aldrin gives you that as a quest reward. Like, gives you both CV and divine.
Yeah, and that's it. Like I know Mark and Recall is important, but you really, once you get good enough and enough connections, like if you're part of the Mages Guild and you have enough of those divine interventions, and was it Admari intervention? I can't remember what it is. You can make it work. Anyway, see this, we could have done all this in the fucking green room. We didn't need to do this here.
No, we did not, but we gave the people something to see.
Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe. 2 thank yous to Cyclops is better than Wolverine. You're awesome. He's got super chats me every time. So I highly appreciate it. And let's hope it doesn't all go to MC Hammer this time. So do you have anything else you want to say, Tormund?
I am actually having something in the works that I'm hoping to bring out by the end of September. A video that is going to come up.
Fuck yeah. Let me keep you posted. I want to share that.
I'll keep you posted on that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I want to be an early subscriber, and I definitely want to share it. So yeah. Okay. Well, what's my video this Saturday? I want to say it's Moon Boy. It's actually what I want to say. Let me go to my
stalk your channel.
Oh yeah, no, Moon Boy. So I had Greywater Watch. Go watch my Greywater Watch if you haven't yet. I'm really proud of that video. And then Moon Boy is my Saturday video. And then next week is Amory Lorch in Maekar Targaryen. I don't know why I had the 2 biggest freaking characters in 1 week. Like, that definitely set me back. but which was good because the next week I had the two smallest ones and I was able to do it in like one day. Cohor and Michael Redford. So,
yeah. Although I do think, although with Michael, if we had wins, I'm sure it would have been bigger, but yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. But really, I didn't realize that we don't see him. Like he's in the background writing at Quintain, but he doesn't have a line.
No,
it's just Maya talking about him, and that's it.
It's Maya and then
Randa.
I think Elaine talks about him.
Yeah, with Randa Royce. Yep.
Yeah.
It's Randa. But yeah, no, so those are my next 3 weeks, but definitely hype for Moon Boy on Saturday, because that's a good video.
Yeah. It's Moon Boy. You can't go wrong with Moon Boy.
Yeah, I'm really proud of that video, actually. So yeah, I can't wait for this week. So all right, we're getting out of here. Peace.
Bye.